Trust my old friend.
Mockery. Oh, Master, I do not trust you. I cannot trust you or anyone ever again.
And as you get older, things that you used to like start looking and sounding like shit. And things that seemed shitty as a child don't seem as shitty. With you, somehow the wires have gotten crossed and everything looks and sounds like shit to you. It's a condition called being a cynical asshole.
Oh no.
Yes. And there's no known cure, I'm afraid. Everything just seems shitty and everyone starts to seem shitty and everything they say.
It stinks. It stinks. It stinks.
Yes, Mr. Sherman, everything stinks.
All we are is dust in the wind, dude. Dust. Wind. Dude, if you guys are really us, what number are we thinking of? 69, dudes!
Don't you understand, Steven? Somebody has to kill the babysitter.
I'm too old for this shit.
Kids with your loud music and your Dan Fogelberg, your Zima, hula hoops, and Pac-Man video games, don't you see? People today have attention spans that can only be measured in nanoseconds.
Okay, they're talking about fictional characters. Fictional characters. Am I getting through to you at all?
You hate to do it, but at the same time, it's hilarious. Hello and good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Saturday Night Sith. I am your host, The Fractured Filter, and with me, as always, my buddy, my companion, my patriot in all this nonsense in the world, Jay Hitman. How are you tonight, sir?
Dude, ready to rock and roll.
Noise.
Got a lot to cover. First, I just want to just go over something really quick.
Absolutely, you have the floor.
It's a good day, man. 20 years ago, if I have the day right, 20 years ago, KOTOR came out.
Ah, yes. Should I play the trailer for that really quick?
I think we have to. And
all right. Give me a quick moment. Let me do that.
Wipe this pathetic planet from the face of the galaxy.
The Force fights with me!
Get on those gun turrets!
Bring her to me.
All Republic forces, pull back!
It is too late to retreat, Admiral. There is no escape for us. You are strong, child, but I will break you.
I'll never fall to the dark side.
This is but a taste of the dark side.
Hot damn. Those were
last great
God
game.
God,
we've had.
Can't recapture the feeling of playing that game for the first time either. That was, I remember I was hanging out over a friend's house, and he had it. He'd gotten it on PC. I hadn't heard about it really, and man, he was playing. I'm like, whoa, what game is this? He tells me Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic. It takes place X amount. It's supposed to be like what 1,000 years or whatever, 3,000 years or whatever the hell, pre Battle of Yavin and everything, and it's just like, oh my god, and got introduced to the whole new aspect of things. The earliest of early for me, well, at least for what I knew. I hadn't quite been up to date on everything, but gosh darn it, it was a hell of a way to get exposed to something brand new. And man, like I remember he'd let me play on his computer for like an hour, and man, I ate up every hour I could or so that I got to play that game. Goddamn, it was so much fun.
I would come home from school and I'd play this game until my Xbox was like, you could cook an egg on it. And I remember, man, it took me so long to get off Terrace because I was trying to explore every inch of it I could, but the part where like what is it? It's where you're rescuing Bastila and you're doing it's not the Black Sun you're going up against. It's the Soup Gang.
The Volkers or something like
Volkers.
that.
Man, and I didn't play on I don't know. I wasn't playing on hard. I think I was playing just like neat. I don't know. It wasn't easy, but it wasn't hard. It's like the middle or whatever it was. But boy, howdy, man! Like just, and it's just I would play for hours on end. Like I shouldn't be saying this because for the kids show and we want kids to grow up and be smart. But I didn't do my homework. I come home and I play this game, and then I would like do my homework like the next morning. Yeah, but just the I mean, we're talking about the graphics, we're talking about the story, we're talking about the character development. I mean, Revan didn't really have much. I mean, he was basically just quiet. I mean, you played as Revan, male, by the way.
Yeah, he's basically like you. I mean, it's the whole you get to stand in as the character. You are picking and choosing dialogue options is kind of the. It was my first experience with that whole system. So
yeah, and then the relationship between you and Bastila, the girl that I asked to like home. I was like, be my Bastila. And worked like a charm, got slapped in the face. So
nerd.
Yeah, no, I think I was talking about another girl or something because not Star Wars fan now.
Yes.
Last bit, it's crazy because it's 20 years, man. It's 20 years, and 2003 to 2023. You would.
And I didn't even realize that either. That was a good call.
You would think that maybe, just maybe, with 20 years worth of technological development, that we could actually get a game of the same caliber, if not. But you would expect better, and it's just crazy that like
we haven't gotten anything new in such a long time.
No, I think
anything good like that in such a long time.
I think this might be a little bit of I mean, I don't want to take the reins, but I think this might be a good segue to this clip that I had posted in Discord before the show about kind of George Lucas, and I think this kind of better describe just the why just Disney can't figure it out. So I don't know if you want to play it. It was where is that?
Hey, if you've got it, by all means, good sir. You have the ability to do just that.
Let me know if stupid bugger. Let's see if it'll go here. All right. Tell me if you can see it or hear it.
That's always the question, right? It's slow. You might have to turn it up.
All right, hold on. Can you hear it?
No, I can't. Okay, hang on. Give me a moment. I'll stop sharing.
Hang on. My audio's messed up on my end.
It just wasn't. Yeah, I don't know if it was just just being stupid or
Probably.
or what, but I'm just kind of sharing out the links. And some of the other
I think, well, I don't know if it's any better, but crap, that's not what I wanted to do. You can try it on your end. If not, I can try it again.
Yeah, give me just a moment. I'm popping back in to grab the show notes and links over on the Twats. Twitter of the Twats. Paste and go. Okay.
I was interested in doing a film that could affect them. And I'd studied mythology and everything, and I decided I'm going to make a modern myth, and which teaches, again, the basics of what you have in a society, because mythology is there to glue a society together. Gives you common ideas about who you are, about what your society is, what you believe in, what your God is, what your values are, and it's based on the psychological motifs behind myths. I disliked the business of Hollywood intensely. When I had that choice of Star Wars being a success, I said, I'm going to try to make a go for it. And so I invested in the next movie and borrowed money from a bank and everything. I had everything at stake. I did it primarily because I didn't want the studios to tell me what to do. I didn't want them coming and commenting on my work and putting their little ideas in there. And because I needed to make sure I controlled the vision and not have it be diluted by a lot of other people, I ended up with a company, and the company was successful, and movies were successful.
Man,
so yeah, I just
that's the mentality that is sorely needed more now than ever. And I mean, that was the thing, that it was, even then, Hollywood was at a peak. Everybody was trying to get to be a part of it, and he just kind of said, no, F you, I'm gonna do my own thing and build what I need to build so I can stay independent from everybody else. And that, goddamn, was that the right way to go about it? And it's just said that so many people think the only way to be legitimized is by sucking the teat on Hollywood and joining the for lack of better terms, I guess, the inner circles of their weird.
You join the cult.
Yeah, you join the cult. And it's just unfortunate that nobody else, or at least very rarely, does another George Lucas come along who's like, no, I'm going to create my own thing and get outside of it.
Yeah.
Well, no, I misspoke. I should say that there are groups that are working at that now, but it's going to, naturally, it's going to take some time to see what really comes of it all.
Right. And this might be a totally subjective comment, but I'm going to say it anyways, because it's our show. But like, just hearing his voice, like for me, hearing George speak there, and I'll say before, I don't idolize the guy. This is idolatry. This is like when we're talking about, Star Wars and everything, like hearing this guy just speak in this clip, like you can hear the passion. You can hear, just the love. And my goodness, like this dude studied mythology. Like I don't know all the facts about George, but I do know that the dude studied religion. He studied he studied politics, he studied history, and it's and anybody who, well, you're wrong, Jay, man, you're that's not true. Like, yeah, it is. Like, watch the movies, right? Like there's a clip I think we played where he was talking about, like, was it the Viet Cong or something? It was I remember we were reviewing something. We brought that clip up, but the point that I'm trying to make is like you don't, man alive, man, like it's hard to find somebody that, I guess in this, I don't want to say this day and age, but just the passion is unmatched, man. And he did it on his own. Like, like he's like, no, I'm not going to go to Hollywood, right? And can you imagine if he did? If he bent to me and he was like, man, like I can't, no bank's gonna give me the money. I don't want to sink all my life savings into this thing. I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna go to Hollywood. Can you imagine? Like Spaceballs would be the next. Like Spaceballs would be better.
Spaceballs would have been very on point, and it would have ended up being like we would have had probably already 20 Star Wars movies by now.
Right.
If not,
I think,
if not more, or maybe less. I mean, it would have been like another. It would have been like Fast and the Furious,
right.
where they had
No,
up to
absolutely.
10 freaking movies, and we would have
It's
been.
like,
We probably would have been
let old
in
dogs
that.
lie, man. Let old dogs lie. Have a plan, execute the plan, and then just let it. And once the plan has been fulfilled, let it rest, man. But it's still to this day, after 73 episodes of this show, 73 episodes, it still boggles my mind that Disney, yes, they don't have more money than Apple. Like they don't, they're not the richest company out there, but Disney can get anybody that they want, right? Because the head of this department, i.e. Kennedy, who worked for Lucas, could find anybody that she wants, right, to help with Star Wars. But you could find anybody and get anybody. Who would not jump at the opportunity to want to work for Disney, right? It's Disney, right? It's a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate, right? Been around for 100 years. So, you know, I just, it boggles my mind that like you had what George did, and it's almost like there's this visceral hate for George because it's like we will never be able to replicate or duplicate what George did. So we're going to do our own thing, but in the midst of doing our own thing, we have the rights to it. So we're going to just crap on everything that he did through our movies because we're just mad because we can't create. Or the other side of it is like they actually think what they're producing is good, right? And I don't know if it's like, you know, it's like you and I go to a restaurant or whatnot, or we're hanging out with people, and I tell you a joke, right? And I know it's a really bad joke. This joke should not be laughed at, right? But everybody starts laughing at this joke, right? And so my ego gets stroked, and I tell more, and I think so I start telling
keep
jokes,
going, and you keep
and I keep going because like, oh man, like this thing's just terrible. I know it's terrible, but people like it, so just maybe I'll just keep telling these bad jokes because people love what I say, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it's very similar to Disney, like, oh man, Andor is great. Everybody's gonna sit here and say, not everybody, but a lot of people may sit here and say, like, you guys are subjective. You have no proof. Like it's your opinion. Well, yeah, you're right.
Go back and watch all of our episodes when we talked about Andor. I think we were pretty clear about how we felt about that show, and that we aren't just you know saying it's bad for the sake that it's Disney. No, it was a bad show. It had a lot of problems going on.
Right.
And listen to the Raging Rhinos reviews. He called out a lot of the bullshit too.
It's just when you dissect something, it's not. And like I said, I just need to like, I hate Disney, man. Like I hate Disney Star Wars, right? But when when we review this stuff, man, like I really try to. And I know that you do the same way, right? Because we're very similar. But I try to come at it from a character development. I don't even know why I'm justifying this, but just for I guess sake of just saying it. It's like,
because the thing is too is that like a lot of people will come up with their own bullshit of why we quote unquote don't like it. Oh, you just don't like it because there aren't any lightsabers and force powers and stuff like. It's like, no, bitch. There's a lot more going on that we called out and disliked about the show than just there was no force users or big battles or anything like that. There was
when I have to watch a show and wonder how the heck they got Star Killer's armor in a antiquity shop. Like,
I was like, those are just Easter eggs. No, your Easter eggs. I understand. You want your little stuff in the background for people to notice and go, oh my god, I recognize that. But the thing is, they should also make a degree of sense of why they're in that particular location.
And let's table the Star Killer armor for a second. Can we at least, like, I will concede the Star Killer. Maybe he got it, but a holocron like that to me, like I said, and I will say this until the day that I die, that Easter egg in itself makes absolute zero sense because for logically, you don't. It's like again, like where's Palpatine? Where's the Sith? Like again, it's so frustrating because you put these Easter eggs in, but like you're robbing the trash, if you will. You're robbing the place that you deem trash, right?
Yeah.
You're robbing Pandora's box that you put under your bed or next to the trash can or whatever to put into your stuff, but you want nothing to do with it because that's not your canon.
And it's people putting stuff into a scene without recognizing the significance that item has in the world that they are working with. They only just throw it in there for people to go, "Oh my god, I recognize that." They do it.
This is what they do. But this is
They do
they
do
do
it
it
for exactly this reason. They want the seals clapping for it. That's the only reason why they do it.
You said I mean, I think you said it beautifully. You said the significance. So it's like, why did we get frustrated in Mandalorian, right? Because they brought back the N1 starfighter. So what did you call it? Member berries. It's what they do, and you don't I really don't think they understand, or Filoni understands the ramifications of you doing it. Like, yeah, like, oh well, what you doing? Because it's not like whatever. But it's like, no. So like, it's just it's infuriating because you set aside EU. You called EU Legends, right? And you wanted nothing to do with it. Right. And then you make you create your content, and I say the term create very loosely. There's no creating. It's really just robbing and putting stuff together, sewing stuff together, really piss poorly. But then you use this stuff, but you have no idea or of what will happen. Like when you put it in, like when you have a shop that has, Padme's headpiece, you have Starkiller's armor, you have the holocron, you have the stupid what else? I don't even know. I can't remember. There's so much in there. The Gungan shield from Phantom Menace. You had the headpiece, the Twilight headpieces, and from you got to do from Rebels, and so it's like you're intermixing all these different things in the shop, but you just leave it as a shop, and then you don't say anything about how Luthen got it. And again, like, well, that's not part of the story. We just did it because it's it's Easter eggs. Well, like, why?
Yeah.
My particular favorite is the Temple of Doom stone that was in his shop. I thought that was absolutely good.
Yeah.
Was on a Kalema kick for about 2 weeks after I saw that episode.
Oh God.
So, but I get, without like going on and rambling, it's like this is why Disney will never match Lucas.
No, because they also put people in charge that don't actually have the same love or passion for the source material.
Again, they'll say that's subjective. That you can't measure their passion. Well, you know what? The proof is in the pudding. Here we sat at the dinner table. So if you have passion, I'm not going to sit here and say you don't have passion, but your actions, your work, what's the saying? Your actions should follow your words, right? So if you say you love Star Wars, you should do everything you can to stay the course and be as true to Star Wars as you possibly can.
Well, now, I would even say though that the proof is in the fact of the wild years, basically between Return of the Jedi and Phantom Menace, how the expanded universe kept Star Wars alive, kept interest in it, kept people, the hardcore, the diehards, whatever you want to call them, still, keeping up and keeping in update with what was going on in the universe that was still, being fleshed out and everything.
I also just don't understand, because I've heard people say on multiple occasions that what Filoni is doing is what George wanted. So like I'll reference, there's a scene in Book of Boba where they're facing, I think it's Book of Boba, where Cad Bane was in Book of Boba, right?
Yeah, he was. He was at the sausage fingers.
So there, that whole concept for Cad Bane and that fight scene was, I quote, 100% true to what George wanted, because George loved Westerns. Right. So the whole shootout thing, OK Corral thing, like that's what George wanted. So again, like I find it, like,
I mean, supposedly
it's hard for me to think that George, like, so it's not, let's try to take as much subjectivity out of it. So let's look at what George had done, 1 through 6, and let's look at all the work that he's done. Let's compare this scene to what he's done. I find it very hard to believe that George would have created something like that, just based on, like, and I don't know, Han Solo had his holster, his blaster on his hip. Like, I'm not talking about the black. I just don't know, man.
It's
the water has been muddied so much that it's just, yeah. But I just wanted to pull that clip up because I truly believe that this is why Disney will never match George. Like, you have an agenda and you're willing to compromise your morals, your ethics, and everybody else along the way to push this agenda. Such a first problem. And two,
100%.
I just would love to. I just want to know before I die who's really pulling the strings at Lucasfilm. If it's the Illuminati, right? If it's I don't know, man. I'm just very curious to see who's pulling the strings and choosing the content that they're choosing to create or release or whatnot, because it's very. I wish we had that scene. We got to clip that scene from Andor. It's like, it's why must it all be so sad and boring?
Right. Well, here's another little interesting thing about like how they try and always say, oh God, don't tell me I got rid of it. No, I just had the clip too. Oh, here we go. How they love to say that, oh no, George didn't pay attention to the EU or anything like that. Herper derper derp. Well, I got some sore information from the Sentinel. First says George Lucas admitting he brought in characters from the EU, in his case the Star Wars Republic comic series, and canonized them by including them in his Star Wars films. And
Twilight Jedi is something that came a little later. When we started building Jedis, we had a lot of Jedis, and we needed more and more Jedis. As we were doing them toward the end, we ended up with a lot of Jedis that looked like people that worked at ILM. These short little haircuts and looked like they stepped out from behind a computer. And so I was saying we have to get more exotic Jedis. And so we only have so much resources to do these things with. But I do have Twilights because we use them quite a bit in other areas in the Senate and as background action. So I have a sort of a wardrobe and a setup of certain kinds of characters. So it was a way of reinventing some of those characters. And I had realized that we had a comic book that has a Twi'lek in it that is a Jedi. There's a whole series actually of her. And I said, well, why don't we put her in this? I mean, she's a comic character, but we'll just fit her in and have her be a background character because that's exotic. That's how the Twi'lek Jedi ended up in the backgrounds of these shots, was to try to use some of the work and effort that the guys in the comic book world had put into things and characters they created.
But oh no, he doesn't know anything about the EU or anything like that, right?
Right.
Oh my God. Like,
I just computer messed up.
Isn't it just maddening sometimes?
It's all just maddening, where's I need like 4 monitors like you.
I've just got
another thing that like absolutely infuriates me is like is it like on this topic here, when we talk about how like everything that they create is just utter garbage. I don't know. Let me know if this is sharing.
Yeah.
And like Andor, like
outstanding drama series. Oh, fudge.
Like that was just
Frick
one of the one that I found.
No, and I've heard of some of the Spurs going, oh, they're legitimizing Star Wars. Basically, it's like, oh my God. And it's like, it goes back to that first clip that we played of George, saying how he didn't like Hollywood. He didn't like parts of it. So he went and did his own thing. He created his own thing. So that's why they almost never acknowledged him. They didn't like him at all.
Yeah.
And, that to me is like, yeah, that's fine. Good. The more you can piss those people off, the better in my book.
It says, has been nominated for Best Writing at the Emmys. So,
give me a hell yeah.
There's another one where it's like that lizard lady. I don't know what her name is. Lizard. Yeah, whatever. Got one. But it's like, isn't that it's just, oh man. Cause I was reading up on like how you even get an Emmy. It's apparently like members got to vote, like you got to be nominated, and members have to vote, and then like you just
you had to be voted in and shit like that.
But then I was like, for what? For what? What was good about this show? Like best writing? Like writing what? Their names? You got their names correct? Like best writing at the Emmys, and then nominated for best drama, outstanding drama series. There's another one that I had posted, and I don't know where it went, but
let's see. That was the discussing films link.
I put it the wrong one. Sorry, I think I put it in the wrong one. But so I find that that's just crazy to me. Absolutely asinine. The show got nominated for an Emmy.
All right, so apparently the Emmys 2023, the nominations. Here we go. I am not pumped. I don't want to go. The rare occasion I am not ready for this shit. Are they gonna actually? Okay, so they do get to the list. So the lead up to the 75th annual Primetime Emmy Awards has been a historic one already, to say the least. The nominations for the 2023 Emmys are being announced on the same day that Hollywood actors are preparing to go on strike if their union, SAG-AFTRA, can't strike a deal with the studios by midnight. I am only just hoping for accelerationism. I want them to burn.
I'm just waiting until Bob Iger says about it.
Please stay on strike. Strike for a full year. I don't care. I'm generally not watching your shit, and I can find a bunch of other old topics to talk about. So go ahead. This, of course, is all meanwhile the WGA Writers Guild has entered its 11th week of strike. It's been 11 weeks. Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
The two unions represent a large piece of the industry's backbone and are fighting for their wages. Guys, you've already been using AI and proven how you are basically pointless. Because apparently the AI is just doing your jobs for you. Sorry. Not sorry. The two unions represent a large piece of the industry's backbone and are fighting for their wages, increase residual payments to accommodate the complexities of streaming and creative protections against the use of artificial intelligence in the studios. If SAG-AFTRA goes on strike, it could mark the first time in 63 years that both actors and writers are picketing over contract disputes. The only thing that sounded interesting about this whole thing was that it would basically be forcing the hand of all these streaming services to start showing their numbers. So then we could actually truly and really see just how popular some of these shows of theirs are. And man, I would love that, because oh my god, we might get to see just how popular Andor really was, and Book of Boba Fett, and all these shows of theirs. Therefore, this leaves the Television Academy in a very weird place. The awards body still has to move forward with revealing its 2023 nominations, but the actual Emmys might get delayed until late this year or even January 2024. Considering that the studios and streamers are currently showing no positive signs of negotiating with the actors and writers, it's looking like the wait for actual awards ceremony is going to be long after the 2023 nominations are revealed today. Obviously, two of Hollywood's largest unions on strike also means that all film and TV productions will go on pause and face delays, as actors and writers will be encouraged to stay on the picket lines in solidarity. When do we start hearing about scabs and shit like that, and people crossing the picket lines even without them? How long till those people start getting crucified when it happens? All because they're just trying to still make ends meet. HBO once again dominated the Emmy nominations, with Succession coming in on top with 27 nods, followed by The Last of Us with 24. Good lord. The White Lotus with 23. Succession in particular set a new record with 3 nominations in Best Actor in a Drama Series category. Furthermore, the supporting actor in a drama series category is made up entirely of names from Succession and The White Lotus. The supporting actress in a drama series category has 5 names from The White Lotus as well. The Last of Us also scored acting nominations for the majority of its cast, including Pedro Pascal, Bella Ramsey, Nick Offerman, Murray Bartlett, Lamar Johnson, Kayvon Montreal, Woodward, Melanie Linsky, Storm Reed, and Anna Torv. God, what a list. Woodard, I don't know how you pronounce that, but who played the young survivor Sam on the show, specifically became the second youngest Emmy nominee of all time at only 10 years old. Okay, so well, that must be one hell of a 10-year-old actor. Final season of Apple TV's Ted Lasso came in 4th place at the 2023 Emmys with 21 nominations, and is followed by the final season of Prime Video's The Marvelous Miss Maisel, okay, with 14. Netflix's Beef and Dahmer Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer story, then tie with Hulu's The Bear with 13 nods each. There are plenty of other surprises sprinkled throughout the 2023 Emmy nominations, including some love for Wednesday. Obi-Wan Kenobi? Oh, hell. This is how you know this stuff is just all bunch of Hollywood jerking each other off. Because that I still have PTSD from that show. Mm-hmm. I say that in a joking manner, but God, that show was horrible. Ander, Barry, and Only Murders in the Building. And yes, Better Call Saul did earn nods for Bob Odenkirk, Rhea Seehorn, and co-creator and showrunner Peter Gould in its final chance to win an Emmy after previously being nominated 46 times with no wins. Yeah, that's actually a good goddamn show. It's a prequel show, but I enjoyed the shit out of that. Like, I actually kind of like it a little more than Breaking Bad.
What?
Yeah, I was actually really surprised. I've said it before. It's just like, I never expected Saul Goodman, of all the characters that they had in Breaking Bad, to, for one, get his own like spinoff series, and also for that spinoff series to be a prequel series. But I found it really engaging, really interesting. The dynamic between him and his older brother.
Is this the Saul show?
Yeah, Better Call Saul.
Yeah,
Yeah. And I was really surprised by it myself. I didn't expect it to be as good as it was, as interesting as it was. Just kind of seeing this scummy late night ambulance chasing lawyer get so much background on him, and it was interesting. It was good. I really liked it. I'm shocked it didn't get any wins. I'm pretty sure Breaking Bad got some victories here and there. Overall, HBO Max earned 127 nominations total at the 2023 Emmys. Meanwhile, Netflix came in second place with 103 nods, Apple TV in third with 46, and Hulu and Prime Video both tied in fourth with 42 each. Disney Plus then lands in fifth place with 40 nominations. These awards are divided into main Emmys ceremony and the Creative Arts Emmys, which cover the more technical and niche categories. Did your favorite shows get the spotlight they deserve, or worse, get snubbed? Check out all the nominations below and stay tuned as we cover Emmys leading up to the big tentative night on Monday, September 18th, 2023. In meantime, you can also refresh your memory and find the final winners here for this year's Oscars, Golden Globes, Critics' Choice, BAFTA, SAG Awards, and our very own Discussing Films Critical Awards. I don't think I care what you guys have to say about any particular nominations or anything, but I also just don't care about what these dipshits think are good anyways. But let's see here. What do we have? God, this is good lord. I don't know if we'll go. I don't think we'll go through all of this, but Jesus. So limited or anthology series movie category. Limited series is where we get Obi-Wan Kenobi on the list. Why? I think that's like further, signs of how much Star Wars has fallen when it actually is on these fucking lists.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Television movie. Not seeing anything for Star Wars. That's kind of why I'm kind of popping in on this. Let's see. This is all supposed to be TV series. Jeez. God, I can't believe they have this many like categories nowadays. This is just weird. I am just a bit shocked by it. What can I say? Drama series. Oh, that's where Andor falls into it with Better Call Saul. Oh, Better Call Saul easily beats that fucking series out of the water. Up against House of the Dragon, Last of Us. Good lord. I don't know anything about these other shows though. Let's see. Directing for a drama series, Benjamin Caron, Andor, Rick's Road. I don't even remember which episode that was. Let me try and find it really quick. Get an idea of why that particular episode was chosen. Always a curiosity, right? Like, why?
Yeah.
Why? Season 1. Let's see. Which one is Rick's Road? Oh, that was the last episode. Oh, where we got cheated out of the first swear word in a Star Wars series. Darn.
What I remember? What was it? That they said?
She was supposed to say "fuck the Empire."
Oh yes,
but they decided not to. Hey, Wookie. Oh no, yeah. I posted it in the twats. You should have seen it. Did I miss Ahsoka? We have not gotten to Ahsoka yet. No, we will though. Don't you worry. We're just kind of going over the Emmy nominations for the moment and just kind of seeing what everything is and where some of the Star Wars series fell in. Let's see. Writing for a drama. Williman, Andor, One Way Out. Which episode was that? That was the prison escape episode. Okay. The goofy episode that people had managed to let the hate flow. No, but we're at least checking out the list to see what they were supposed to be putting up. Actors that can't attend on strike. Oh, you mean they don't get their free little handies for the night? Darn. Let's see. I just kind of want to see if there's anything else. You're telling me as great as a series as Obi-Wan Kenobi was, we're not getting any writing credits for that? Darn. Oh, it should have been in a comedy series, freaking Kenobi. Especially for that bad chase scene with a little kid and trying to hide a kid in his goofy trench coat. Okay, yeah, I think I'm done with that.
The list.
What about yeah? Well, since it ain't happening too, it's just kind of like, well, there's no sense in it, and I just don't care for Emmys. I just think they're all just kind of a big waste of time.
You never know. Andor might happen.
I'm still wondering when we're going to hear about Andor season 2.
I'm more concerned about Kenobi season 2.
Oh God! I mean, last we heard that was kibosh by KK herself. So hopefully that ain't happening.
What's her middle name?
I have no clue.
Not K.
Not that I'm aware of.
Middle name's Kate.
All right. So do you, what did you want to? We've got we have our topics for today, but you know, what are you feeling in the moment? Should we go for the Ahsoka trailer? Are you hyped for that?
Is Wookiee here? Does he watch?
He's watching.
Ugh. Yeah, just rip the Band-Aid off because I just want to get it over with.
All right.
Ugh. Where's my pineapple pizza?
Here we go.
War is inevitable. One must destroy in order to create. We are no Jedi.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
I started hearing whispers of Thrawn's return as heir to the Empire.
What happens when we find Thrawn?
Power.
Oh, that chick?
Such as you've never dreamed.
I've spent most of my life fighting a war. That's why I'm trying to convince you to help me prevent another one. You and I both know who could help you with this.
She's still.
I know nothing about Rebels.
Oh yeah, Lothal, the big desert planet. Yeah, or kind of not. I don't know. It's kind of weird.
I walked away from him, just like I walked away
You
from
were-
Sabine. You never made things easy for me, Master.
What?
Yeah,
have to make
that's
the
kind
decision
of
no one else
weird,
can.
and we'll go back to that.
But I'm counting on you to see this through.
Nice haircut. Sometimes we have to do what's right, regardless of our personal feelings.
No, they did not just have this.
Buckle up.
Yeah, they did.
If we don't stop Thrawn, everything will be in vain.
Great. I can see they didn't go with Gary Oldman.
No, they weren't going to.
Spoke highly of you.
I'm not here to discuss my past.
We have a lot of work to do.
Once a rebel, always a rebel.
No.
In order to create.
So yeah, I mean, of course they're touting this line around. We are no Jedi.
So what are they? Inquisitors?
I don't even know if they're that at this point. We have an Inquisitor running around.
They're not
sure,
great
but
Jedi. They're not great Jedi.
no, because those don't exist. But I mean, it would surprise me if Filoni tries to force that shit in there.
They're
I
no
mean,
temple guards.
they certainly. God, I So here we got more of the, I think, part of the Lothal Temple. Because they seem to be really showing off. And God, I'm like, what? They brought this chick back from Mandalorian.
No.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Like Wookiee Point, the Wills. That's right. My bad. But I mean, they were part of that whole temple thing. What happens when they find Thrawn? That's the thing. Like, they have 8 episodes to do this shit too.
Well, just the audacity that this nothing burger Ahsoka could even go up against Thrawn is just the thought that like this I don't know. And how old is she? She was 13 years old, having a crush on Anakin, and now Anakin, like, how old is she? Is she 16? 17? She in her 40s?
Now? Yeah, probably. Or
how old was she when she was following Anakin around?
Like supposed to be in her like 30s to now? So, I mean, or you mean when she was a kid?
When she was following Anakin, when she was, dare I say, snips.
That was probably supposed to be, yeah, she was probably 13 by the end of it, about 16. The Clone Wars went for like 3 years or something like that. It's actually kind of a short campaign. Okay, she was 12.
Boy, Anakin was robbing the cradle back then.
But here we're yeah, and Anakin was at least he would have had to have been 16 because by the end of like Revenge of the Sith and stuff, that I think he was supposed to be like 20, 19 or 20. Yeah, we are getting the world between worlds, what we were talking about.
I don't know how to do this because I didn't watch Rebels. The only stuff I know about Hera is the episode of the Clone Wars. I don't know who this Balin guy is, but again, like if this
Balin's new. Balin's new for this series, along with his companion, apprentice, or whatever the hell she's supposed to be.
They are not Jedi, but they're not Sith.
They aren't Sith. They aren't Jedi.
So,
what the hell are they?
Bro.
What?
Are you ready for this?
Oh,
it
God.
just hit me.
Oh, God.
They're the Brotherhood of Darkness.
So they're Dark Jedi.
I mean, that was... They weren't... Remember, back then, they didn't call themselves Sith.
No, that's true. There was a time where they weren't calling anybody Sith, but... Right. I think that was that was supposed to still be the point because the Sith were supposed to be the rule of 2.
Right. And then
Palpatine
you know how that ended
Vader.
up when they came and, wanted to be called Dark Lord and
yep.
Sith and the time bomb.
Good old thought bomb.
Thought bomb, sorry, time bomb. It was a time bomb, but thought bomb. But no, so what are they? So, but they have orange lightsabers, which Filoni was like, well, even Anakin's lightsaber wasn't fully red. It changed colors from,
Yeah, he blamed the prints of the old VHS copies and stuff. But yeah, Wookiee even said that for Ahsoka, she'd be like 60 or 70 in Mando.
And she was good for a 70-year-old, huh?
Not bad.
It's just stupid. And then like Sabine,
like it is. This is even them trying to. Oh, hey, Duke Devil. Hey, man, how's it going? Yeah, I see men in the background. Where they belong, of course. Pretty sure, like, also those are probably digital men. Those are just like digital guys in the background. They aren't even real. So hey, there you go. Even more for this simulacrum of this nonsense.
let me pose a question.
Yeah.
Would you rather watch 8 episodes of this show or watch Dial of Diarrhea?
Oh God!
We haven't even got into our review.
No, I figured we'd kind of save that after doing this stuff.
No, I know. I just thought just come to my head as I'm watching this minute trailer of just dualtishness. Like, and then did they have to? They absolutely had to put that painting of the actual rebels.
Yes, they had to. Filoni has to wank himself off by referencing himself. Wookie's saying, how does Hitman feel about Sabine being a Padawan to Ahsoka? I'm just thinking she was just trained initially for the whole using the dork saber like we talked about a bit. I don't know if she's gonna be force sensitive because that was never even brought up in Rebels that she had the potential of being force sensitive.
Well, hold on. If Omega could be force sensitive, then Sabine
she wasn't shown to be force sensitive either.
Who? Omega?
She wasn't.
Absolutely, she was. Absolutely,
no, she wasn't.
Absolutely. Where were you at when we reviewed that episode? She was 100% force sensitive.
She even said it herself that she couldn't like concentrate and get that sort of feeling the same way the Wookiee did. She said it herself.
No.
Oh, sorry.
I think Grungy's gonna train her.
Called her master. I still think that can just be as much of anything of being trained by something. It doesn't have to be anything related to the Sith and Jedi and stuff like that.
I do not think the Sith could return without us knowing.
But I mean,
bro, Sabine's gonna be a Jedi.
Dang it, Wookiee! See what you created.
No, it's gonna happen, and
you think
just like I do. Just like I think somehow they're gonna make Omega force sensitive. They're gonna tell you in the show like, oh no, I can't do that, but she's gonna be force sensitive. And Sabine's going to be a Jedi. She needs somebody to help her fight off those 2 non-Jedi Sith people.
Right. They do. Hang on. I think it was in this trailer that she squares off. I thought they. Yeah. Oh, fuck. No, but she even says, like, this whack job wannabe Sith chick says she has no power. Girl? Yeah. Just when they're squaring off, but she's trying to, sure, but I don't think she is actually force sensitive. I don't think she has the ability to do so.
Listen, you know that they've done far worse with a lot less.
Yes, because I watched the Kenobi series.
Listen, I appreciate you saying that they can't, but I mean,
I've already had to relent on one thing already this week. I don't want to admit to this one because it just seems so ridiculous. Why would they? She never
think it through.
No,
think it through.
Oh,
let the hate flow through you. Think about it. Think it through logically from A, B, C. We're at A. We know what's going to happen at C, or we can see what happens at C. Therefore, what takes place in B? She's a Jedi. She said master.
But, I mean, even she's being confirmed she doesn't have any power.
By whom? Whom's
by another Force user that would know.
It doesn't mean anything. The Jedi Council said that Anakin was never going to, like, they were going to train him up because he was too old, and then he came and killed all the children. So how did that work out?
Wow, that's escalated quick.
Just saying, I'm just saying.
You can see my face right now. Oh no, I refuse.
Think it through. Where's Wookie? Where's he at? Get this man in here. I want to hear his thoughts on this.
You want the link, Wookie?
Wookie, do it. We're gonna settle this before this show's over. Whether it's either gonna be you and I, or Wookie's gonna get on here. He's gonna say what his thoughts are, because it logically makes sense that she's gonna be a Jedi, 1000%. And I haven't even watched Rebels, but I have a gut feeling this is where they're gonna go with it. Why? Hashtag because. Like, why are you so against it? What logically help me understand?
I just don't see it being a thing, because they never alluded to it, even in Rebels, that she would be force sensitive.
That's why it's the perfect thing.
Nobody will
see it. Nobody will see it coming.
The only thing that was there was that she was using the dork saber, and yes, it felt heavy, but freaking Dim Jughead, it felt heavy for him too, but he's not force sensitive either.
What does Ben Kenobi say in A New Hope?
Force, it surrounds us, it binds us, it
penetrates us. He doesn't say it binds Jedi, or it binds force sensitive people, or whatnot. It's the perfect way to do, because you said they never alluded to it. That's the perfect. It's perfect. It's the perfect thing to do, because nobody's going to see it coming, because we didn't allude to it. They're not going to expect it, and then boom, drop.
You know what though? You say that, and then you know what immediately popped into my head. So we're already going into Crazy Town, right?
Oh, yeah.
Now, it's not going to be exact. And maybe the Shin girl is actually going to be kind of more a reflection of it. But for one, a couple of things popped into my head about this, with Sabine being potentially force sensitive. Okay. One, she's going to be the new Jedi Mandalorian hybrid thing that they've already had with their whole thing, and maybe she will go to Bo-Katan and end up being the real leader of the Mandalorians. But this is how they're going to start things out. Welcome to the shit show. Hey, Wookie.
Morning.
Morning.
I got off work at like 4 o'clock. I was thinking you guys were on at 7:30 my time. I thought you were on there last week. I had an alarm set and everything.
Sometimes we have to switch things around. But okay, so now, all right, Sabine might be the whole Mando Jedi hybrid. All right. Or she's gonna be kind of a mix of, oh God, I can't believe I'm saying this. She might be kind of like a mix of like Mara Jade, or this whole Thrawn thing going on.
Shut your mouth.
Mara Jade. Wasn't Mara Jade a Sith?
She was.
She worked with the red hand.
She was like maybe like a dark Jedi-ish, but it was mainly at the control of Palpatine.
You mentioned a key word there. Jedi. Which means she has force sensitive. She's force sensitive.
Which is what we're already saying about Sabine, right?
She's gonna be like, you have no power, and also she's gonna force push her.
Right. And so we already know that they're stealing a lot of stuff from Heir to the Empire for especially Ahsoka and everything like that. So, and then I could see if Ezra's gonna be a part of this, if they do bring him in within these 8 episodes. Okay, so maybe he is that Luke character still, or he's gonna be the Cyberioth kind of ish. He's gone evil, and she has to kill him, and so that is then her end objective. She ends up
kill Ezra.
Like that's like the big moment for her.
Like Kanan and Jason.
She has to strike him down.
But that's her love interest too.
It is, but that's, you know, it's kind of then her going the Jedi way of making a big sacrifice and crap like that. But that's also potentially giving Filoni way too much credit than he deserves.
I think he's going to mystery box his way through this shit. I really do. I think it's going to be there's only one way to go is you go find Ezra and then you defeat Thrawn, but it doesn't matter. The first order already exists at this point. The first order existed 4 years after the death of the Death Star, according to Disney canon, which they like to throw at the drain. The battle over Jakku, they got the codes to go to where the Imperials were already at in deep space.
Hey, Joker.
So the first order already exists now. These are just very little left.
And we've already been seeing it, with Mandalorian and stuff like that. That's the remnant or the prelude to them.
Well, the remnants are already
point.
gone. These guys are just picking up scraps. That's all they're doing. Like the leader, Ray Sloane's gone.
The old warlords and stuff.
Yeah, she's gone with the last Super Star Destroyer and probably 24 Star Destroyers gone into deep space to go create the First Order. I read the books. Well, I audio taped the books because you're supposed to have to all this to fucking keep track of Disney. And then they said, "Oh, well, the books don't mean anything."
No, it's just one giant, like we said on your little review thing. It's just one giant sandbox. They get to play and do whatever the hell they want. They don't communicate with each other on what's going on.
No,
and I just love that this is just as bad looking in actuality than what we saw when the screenshots leaked. Exactly. There's no source material anymore. It's just what every individual person wants to make up, create, and everything for this.
Joker, did you see my review on this? And you should watch it after that.
Yes.
There was a lot of F words.
Well, because we were.
Show him 145.
140. Oh,
yeah. Turn the volume up. Listen,
because you know how they enjoyed certainly dropping Anakin's name in this. So listen carefully here, Hitman. Tell me if you catch this.
Anakin spoke highly of you.
Hear the little Vader noise breathing there? Do you need me to play it for you one more time?
Yeah, play it again.
All right.
Anakin spoke highly of you.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Joker, how embarrassing. Stop spamming caps.
I just activated Nightbot. I've been checking it out.
Yeah, Nightbot's an asshole, by the way, which is good if you got people in your chat doing shit. Yeah,
Removed.
like who the hell are you? Oh,
Anakin spoke very highly of you. Excuse me, who the hell are you?
Yeah, he's another Jedi that survived Order 66.
Another Jedi, and so again, this is 8 episodes. We don't know the exact runtime of these stupid things.
You're gonna have to watch the Mandoverse movie to understand.
You think they're gonna put his backstory in the Mandoverse movie? They're gonna waste time. They're gonna dedicate that kind of time.
Well, they're gonna get you. They're gonna hook you, and then they want to Marvelize Star Wars.
Which, they've been wanting to do that since they first picked up Star Wars.
That's not how Star Wars works.
No, it doesn't. I agree.
Every couple of years, and it goes away for a decade.
I agree. That was how George had it. But
Why
put his
voice? Why put his
the Vader breathing?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, trust me. You should watch my review because I go off.
Oh, I'm about to go off this show. Why? It makes me.
God, Thrawn is going to make us pay $7 to get verified on Galactic Twitter.
He looks like Elon Musk. He does.
No, he fucking does. He really does. Oh. Hey, Jason, welcome to the
Fracture jumped in on I did a live review.
Yeah.
and I jumped in with him. And we It's
So,
just
did you see my thing about the SAG and WGA?
I saw you mention that. Yeah,
Dave Filoni can't promote this.
that must be eating him up.
Dave Filoni cannot promote this.
Oh, you know what?
He can't.
I'll take
he
it.
can't promote this show?
That little bit, I'll take it. Delicious.
That means they're going to start leaking the behind the scenes stuff that they usually show after the show. They're going to start that.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
Good. But I mean, it's the lines they drop with this is like just okay, but yeah, like Joker said, who the hell are you? Like, what is the whole Order 66 is going to be the biggest freaking failure thrown in Palpatine's face. Poor George. What is his connection going to be? Because I'm pretty sure this character was never in Clone Wars. He was never brought
you're probably
up.
going to get a flashback to the Jedi Council to the Jedi Temple with him talking to Anakin.
You think oh, yeah.
Or you're going to have him in a battle during the Clone Wars with Anakin.
Right. On, some random ass planet.
But even then, he would have been just a fucking Padawan.
Yeah, because he didn't get
It had to have been because
well, in true canon, he didn't get knighted until almost before the whole thing with Grievous.
Right, but supposedly Vader was already Vader at what, 18, 19 years old?
Yeah, when he made the
So when he fell to the dark side is when Luke started his journey, pretty much. Is basically the way it worked. So yeah, I mean, how old is this guy? He looks like a regular human.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of
they don't have extended lifetimes in Star Wars.
Well, apparently freaking Bo-Katan certainly does.
Yeah, she's supposed to be in her late 70s.
Yeah, and she's flying around kicking ass, apparently.
Yeah, and Bo-Katan's older than
she
Ahsoka.
does not look like she's 70.
That's what I'm saying. She's hauling a dump truck around behind her.
Basically, this show is Filoni's one-man circle jerk because he now gets to make Ahsoka in way George would have never let him. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, and he's been in charge of creative now for 3 years or so. They quietly brought him into that position, so he's been in charge of creative for a long time.
And Favreau has nothing to do with any of this.
No, but he's been talking about it. They've had him for promos for this series. I just wish
he was paid, given a script.
Yeah.
Because if he had nothing to do with it, how would he know anything about it?
Right.
So this is something. So like Filoni needs. This is something I was trying to. I forget who I was saying it to, but like he needs this show to go off without a hitch.
Yeah.
Hitman. Does that look like AI to you?
Looks like something to me. Yeah.
it looks like AI. Like that stupid shit you see on Twitter or Facebook or whatever.
The AI art and everything. Like that, we were talking about this because
the Flash looks better than that. The run scene in the Flash looks better.
But no, this looks like what would basically you say, okay, whatever AI art, make me an R2 unit from Star Wars, and it shits this out.
Yeah.
Oh, Duke is saying it looks like looks like original Kenner R2D2, which is possible that Filoni tries his best to pull anything old to go, hey, look, see guys, I'm so OG. Which is how he got Zeb for the design, because it was the original Wookiee design. And he just took it and
pulling up right now, there's one on there. Yeah, but the lights are completely different. Yeah, he had the big eye, but and it's got a red and a blue light, but they're
yeah, okay.
Here, I'll share my screen here.
Yeah, no problem. Oh, yeah, there's the big eye.
Yeah, but they're off to one side.
It has those two lights on the side right there.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm seeing it.
But I don't know. It still looks like
It
AI
doesn't-
art to me.
Yeah, that doesn't really look. That's old school Kenner.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
the
old school Kenner.
yeah. It's what I looked up was
Yeah.
original Kenner R2D2.
That's not. That looks like just donkey.
Donkey Poodoo.
Yeah.
Voodoo,
But yeah, so
right.
that's what I was getting into. Not argument, but I was saying like Flinty needs this to go off without a hitch, and everything that we've seen so far just looks just like asinine dog water. Like, and I'm just so ready to literally lose my mind when I see Thrawn because I don't know if you've heard Wookiee, like Heir of the Empire is my favorite, one of my favorite books, all time favorite books. Thrawn is one of my favorite, like, and they chose this. Bah.
See, I read that stuff, but I read it so long ago, I'd have to go back through it to remember it all again. Because I was.
Are you telling me that doesn't look like Thrawn, and not just
No.
one of the blue man group with red eyes?
No.
No. And like you said, his eyes should be solid.
That
or
looks
they
like
could just
Data
easily
from
CGI'd
Star
that.
Trek.
Yes.
Smart version of Data. And I'm not even a Trekkie.
Dude, all right, somebody, I should pull that clip and fucking post up Legion of Memers, paint him gold and give him
Dude,
paint him light
seriously.
gold and give him what color was Data's eyes?
Oh yeah,
Yellow.
Yeah, it's Data. Make this guy look like Data.
Oh my god, yeah. I mean, that was one of the first things when I saw the Thrawn for Rebels. What just cheesed me off was you just gave him pupils. You gave him like human looking eyes. Are you kidding me? You just ruined the Chiss design right there.
He looked better in Rebels.
For
He fit the animation style as believable.
Yeah, well, yeah, he fit the animation style, but I mean that was.
And too much of this is they're trying to go for that animation style, and it just doesn't work.
They should have just contacted Gary Oldman to do it. Gary Oldman would have just been an amazing freaking Thrawn.
Yeah, but how old is Gary Oldman right now?
Doesn't matter. They can't even get freaking Bo-Katan's age right.
Yeah, but he's 65 years old.
He doesn't look it though.
I mean,
that boy doesn't look a day after 24.
That's a stupid reason to use a voice actor as the main actor. Because wasn't this the guy that voiced him?
Yeah, this was the guy that voiced him, and
Yeah.
even he ended up saying that he wasn't doing the same performance that he did for the show, which is also just some more of their inconsistent nonsense. It's like, no, have him still be that do that voice, but maybe yes, like aged or a slight maybe gruffness, but otherwise it still needs to be about the same. It doesn't. It's not going to change that drastically.
Yeah.
What's it being called Ahsoka Master? I was alone at work and threw a plastic across the bar. You are not the only one, Joker. You are not the only one.
I guess I'm just.
Does this even follow Rebels though? Like, is this after Rebels?
Yeah, this is well
so
after.
we discussed this. So at the end of Rebels, she comes to Sabine, and this is right after Return of the Jedi. The Death Star had fallen, the Emperor was dead, and the idea was they were going looking for Ezra, who trapped himself on a Star Destroyer with just him and Thrawn and some space whales.
Because Ezra found World Between Worlds that Palpatine wanted.
Kind of yet no, he just stood up and somehow tricked him into it. But I thought he had his lightsaber with him.
I thought he did too. That's what confused me.
The lightsaber blaster pistol thing.
Yeah, lightsaber blaster. Which is, I give him that's unique, and they were trying to stay hidden.
He did originally, but then it did change to this. Like you see right here, he does have like a regular looking lightsaber. He designed a new one after his got broken at some point. But like this was Sabine at the end. There's Grandmaster in white, Ahsoka the White. That's what I was looking for. Ahsoka the White.
But yeah, it took her like 2 years. It took her before the Battle of Yavin to the Return of the Jedi to get to Ahsoka.
So did she train Sabine? Because why did she call her master?
Sabine was trained by Kanan on how to use a lightsaber how to use the dark saber so she could stand up for Mandalore.
Interesting.
So there it conflicts with the end season of Clone Wars, because I thought that was the Night of Tears, the night that they destroyed Mandalore was at the end of Clone Wars.
Right.
And now they still existed before the Battle of Yavin.
Yeah, well, it sounded like it was maybe a little after the Empire took control, maybe that 5-year point.
Yeah, but you got to remember they started laying siege to Mandalore at the end of Clone Wars.
That was happening in season 7. I kind of forgot those last.
Yeah, so they went in and took Maul down.
Right.
Right, and then it fell under Empire control because she was coming back, and all that was going on. I'd have to go back and watch again, but I'm pretty sure I thought that was the Night of 1,000 Tears. Was when
I could have
Order
sworn
66 happened.
in the Mandalorian season, they were talking about it and it happened sometime afterwards, like after the Clone Wars.
Because they took down Mandalore itself to take Maul out. So at that point, they were under the control of the Empire.
Because Maul had taken control over Mandalore.
Mandalore, yep.
Even though Palpatine went there, whooped the shit out of him and his brother, killed his brother, and kind of kept him in place. It was weird. Siege of Mandalore was the Night Owls taking back Mandalore from Maul. Maul was a rogue element. He had nothing to do with the Sith. No, but Palpatine came back and kind of was like, "I have plans for you." After he killed Maul's brother, Savage.
Right. Well, and that's what Maul the whole time was talking about. Anakin Skywalker is the chosen one. He is going to take everything down. He knew that Palpatine was then using him. Right. But I'm saying they were. I thought that they laid siege to them during Order 66 for some reason. Because they were already embedded in. Yeah, Gar Saxon, he had the white Mandalorians, the Boba Fett prototypes.
That's right.
Yep. Because Boba Fett originally was going to be like some sort of super stormtrooper.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, like we talked about before, I guess in that time when she comes back, gets her, but then leaves at some point, is her walking away from Sabine and no longer training her. Or at least they were no longer palling around looking for Ezra.
Yeah.
Kind of going
well, and that's the thing. What happened in those, what were 4 years after the destruction of the Death Star? What happened in those 4 years?
Right.
That one, and that's the start of Mandalorian. I would say this takes place after season 2. When you see,
like, this series is supposed to take place during,
Ahsoka.
because, well, and we also see, hang on, this chick that Ahsoka fought, apparently had to fight.
Yeah, wasn't she older in Mando season 2?
She was in, I think so. And she was on some planet in charge, and she had information on Thrawn.
And she was part of the Empire, or had attachments to the Empire. I took it.
No, don't worry, Joker. I won't be playing it. We already watched it through once. Now I'm just kind of going back to different segments. You're safe.
Oh, and he watched the majority of it on my channel when we did the live review, the live reaction. You're lucky nothing got broke during that.
Right. To me, Duke is saying, to me, it makes sense that Mandalore got glassed after Yavin as an example to show power in spite of the Death Star, but it has not been made clear. No, it hasn't.
Well, and also you have where they were glassing their own planets after the fall of the second Death Star.
Right.
So you get into all that Battlefront 2 stuff.
Oh God, there was some good shit there.
Dude, I was like super, super pissed when I read that book. I read the Battlefront book. I was super fucking mad.
Oh, really?
Because they're like, oh, this game is gonna be from
the Imperial
Empire side, the
perspective.
Empire side.
Yeah.
And like halfway through the book, the bitch switches to the Rebellion. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, within like 5 missions, give or take.
Yeah.
If you want the Imperial perspective, play the original Battlefront 2. You actually get to see it from the Empire's perspective through the clones up until they are completely decommissioned, basically.
Yeah.
So if you want that, definitely. They go a little more into it.
And like I said, where's Rex? Rex is always hanging around Ahsoka.
Or Cody. Well, Rex for sure, but where's Cody?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he got
no, Cody wasn't in Clone Wars, was he?
He was. He
No,
was
in
in
Rebels.
the Clone Wars. No, he wasn't in Rebels, but the thing was that they seem to have made a point having him in the Bad Batch, leaving the Empire and getting out. So he got out, and then he apparently got help from Rex. So he's somewhere out there, as far as we're aware. Don't you start now, Joker. I don't want to see no Obi-Wan.
Sorry, I had to eject the dog.
No, you're good. Don't worry about
I
it.
opened the airlock. He's done.
Out the airlock he goes.
Someone made the comment, why have a highway for flying vehicles? Well, it was.
I saw that, yeah.
But it was meant to be a safe corridor for transports, what it was. Exactly what it was.
Is that its intention?
Yes. During Imperial reign, it was meant to be safe transport for Imperial cargo. It's kind of like building a border wall.
Ah, I see.
You want to see Obi? Obi's being a little mouthy right now.
Oh, the dog. I thought.
Obi-Wan's dead by now.
I'm like, we're not.
And like, I appreciated like them finishing the Maul saga with Obi-Wan and Maul on Tatooine. I completely appreciate. I appreciated that aspect, and that Maul was driven crazy in this search for Kenobi.
Like, I would say that was one of the rare good moments of the series.
Did you know that Obi-Wan had the higher ground there? It was a 13% grade. Somebody did the math. He was on a 13% grade higher.
Oh, shut up!
Maul. Yes.
Shut up. No, I did also watch Sam Witwer do his own kind of breakdown of that moment and how Obi-Wan does go through all the different forms from Qui-Gon to his own from Revenge of the Sith, and then to the more what he does to finish him off. It's kind of like this whole visual representation of this kind of Obi-Wan through the decades to now this point, and then why just like woof, one single slash and Maul was down.
So at this point, both Duke and Joker have whiskey in their hands. At this point in the show,
I am sure.
Yeah, dude. Anytime Sam just screams at Kenobi, it's fucking awesome.
Yeah. Can you imagine if that was your
that's one of the main
alarm
reasons why I showed you that toy. I'm like, Disney's going to get my money at Sam Whitworth. But the guy's a treasure.
Yeah.
The guy's an actual treasure. Fuck Freddie Prinze Jr. Yeah. Remember our discussion about that?
Yeah.
That's probably the only thing real in the whole fucking series, and it's probably sitting at Dave Filoni's house. I mean, for me, once Sabine says master to Ahsoka, it's just off the rails from that point.
Right.
It's like it just looks like Hitman's having a meltdown over there with his mask. Just
I am, because like I just feel like it's coming. So do you think Sabine is going to be a Jedi or Force sensitive or no? I just need you to say yes, so I just need Fracture to lose his mind.
Well, me and Fracture already lost our minds to this.
We partly did. Well, no, we didn't go as much into it with this master thing. Like, this is kind of more, Hitman's bringing this more to the forefront, and I'm just like, I think I ignored it or I blocked it out when we were talking.
I seen that clip at work, and I just I I had a car I was working on, and I didn't even want to work on that car. People were coming up and talking to me, and I'm like, "Fuck you." I'm like, "Don't talk to me right now."
Whose voice does Kmart Cowboy have for his real doll, Ashley or Rosario? Oh,
Ashley resembles a child more. I mean, she's like 5'2".
Oh, dude. Oh, shut up, stupid Nightbot.
But yeah, so Hitman, I started my review with holding up a signed Ahsoka Black Series by Ashley Eckstein.
Did you really?
Yeah, I said I hate women. I hate strong women characters. I should have pulled out my signed Hera too, and my signed Cara Dune.
See, like, I didn't watch Rebels, so I guess I can't talk a lot about it, but I just think that she just got screwed. I think she should have been Ahsoka, and we've in Fracture I've talked about this. Like I think Ashley should have, like, 8 years she should have been given the role, but for whatever reason, Rosario.
I don't think, for one, you know who she's married to.
Yeah.
2, she is not in that great of shape.
Oh, Ashley?
Yes. I don't think
Really?
she could at 5'2", I don't think she could physically pull the stunts, and she is probably 20 pounds overweight. Now, most of it's in her dumper, but yeah, she is. She's also like, what, 40 years old?
Yeah.
So
she started doing. She was what, 30?
Yeah.
How long ago? Rebels.
Rosario Dawson's older, but she's also well in shape and into the fucking.
Yeah, but you
health
couldn't
thing.
tell me that she couldn't get into shape for the role. I mean, considering.
But the thing is, did she want to?
Well, I guess that's just it.
Yeah, I mean,
the thing
she
was,
doesn't have anything to worry about. Even if she divorces her husband, she's several times over a multimillionaire.
Who's her husband? I don't know.
Is it one of the big professional baseball players?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and she's full on Disney shill.
Oh yeah, Star Wars Theory. Yeah, Star Wars Theory loves her.
No surprise.
Star Wars Theory said if this is not any good, he is going to stop talking about current Star Wars. He's only going to concentrate on George Lucas's stuff.
Did he really say that?
Yeah, he said he thinks Filoni is the only person there capable of carrying Star Wars.
He will rationalize the shit out of the series being good, though. We've seen him. You have to look at it.
You have to look at it from his point of view. Where does he make his money? Talking about Star Wars. And if he's just trashing it, he's not going to get all the fans. He can nitpick and point things out. I mean, you're talking about a multi-million-dollar business with Star Wars Theory. And that's one thing, like, people give the quartering shit. You're also talking about a multi-million-dollar business. Unfortunately, Nerdrotic is getting ready to reach that point.
Sometimes when I watch Star Wars Theory, this is what comes to mind.
Don't ask questions. Just consume product and then get excited for next products.
No, because I've seen him rip shit apart.
Have you?
Yeah, I've seen him rip shit apart.
Yeah, but he's talked down on episodes and then gave it like a 7 out of 10.
Well, so like I watched him do the Kenobi trailer, and you just seen the dead in his eyes. Like you could tell he's like, well, we'll see how it is, and you could tell.
Yeah.
Sooner or later, you either go full show or full dark side. Sooner or later. You live long enough. To see yourself become the villain. This is directly ripped from fucking Rebels.
Yeah, her cutting her hair like that.
Where Kanan was blind.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And he cut. I sent you the things in the chat for fucking with the 2 pictures side by side.
So
in our private chat on Twitter.
How many seasons did Rebels go? Like 8 seasons?
No, it was 5.
I don't know. I have all of them on Amazon Prime. I don't have to pay for Disney or bootleg the shit.
So,
girl boss moment.
Yes, that is definitely a girl boss moment.
Like, does it make sense to watch Rebels before we go into we don't? There's not enough time, right? Because there's like less than a month.
No, you could probably watch. You could probably watch all Rebels in 2 weekends.
Really? Am I going to be able to
just roll a giant fatty? Make sure you have munchies and hit play.
Just hit play.
Now it took almost a whole season for me to get used to the animation.
Yeah, the animation looks just like trash.
But what I like is like Zed. Yeah, there it is, right there.
Oh, 4 seasons. Joker says 4 seasons.
Is it 4 seasons? Yeah, I have them all on Amazon Prime.
Are they like the Clone Wars episodes were like 20 minutes each?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like Bad Batch.
There's a lot of filler too. You could probably go online and like the essential guide to watching Rebels.
I was gonna say there's probably like a list of
Out of 4 seasons, you only really need to watch 7 and understand everything.
No.
There's a few more than
there's
that.
some good arcs in that though, like the Twilight of the Apprentice, the Twin Sons, which that's the end of the Twilight of the Apprentice.
There's no Mortis arc in there, is there? The Mortis arc?
No Mortis.
Mortis arc.
But yeah, the Twilight of the Apprentice is Maul almost converting Ezra to the dark side.
Almost. He was so close.
Old man Maul. And they actually did it pretty good. They did Old Man Maul pretty good.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. But then that was also the same episode where we got to see the helicopter lightsabers.
Yes. Come on, Hitman. You don't know about the helicopter lightsabers?
What about the helicopter? I remember that when we were talking about the
Joker says, "Don't watch Rebels. This series retcons the whole series."
Well, that's another reason why he needs to watch Rebels is so he understands that they're retconning their own shit.
Yeah, I might have to do a refresher.
Like I said, I have no problem with the casting of Ahsoka. The original voice actress, no, she's like 4'11". And that's something I got on about with James Gunn, where James Gunn's going to use the same voice actors in live action. I'm like, so you're going to overpay for voice acting?
So Joker just brought up something interesting. So it says, "Don't watch Rebels. This series will retcon it." Then why is Filoni doing it? Like if it's a direct retcon, and this is a dumb question because Kenobi and retcon freaking Hope and everything that we talked about, but like why do it? That makes no sense. If this retcon,
because he's in creative control, he gets to make the decisions.
Why would you do it though?
He has his vision to make this series. He wants to put his stamp on.
Yeah, he had
Star
a
Wars
religious
that badly.
experience making this show.
We went over that article. That was how Rosario apparently she said that Filoni was acting like it was having some religious experience that after putting together this show.
I thought that was Mandalorian.
This is like the biggest self-wink, like Joker mentioned, the biggest self-wink for himself and that he could possibly obtain.
But is there any chance of retconning, like, if you create something that will retcon something that you've created, that just, in my mind, they're just stupid. It makes no sense.
I agree. Well, like we've always, what is it that we've been saying? They are most consistent at being inconsistent. They love their mess.
When they started throwing their own canon out the window, that told me this was over with.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have a headache watching this trailer, trying to make sense of it?
I did the first time I watched it, and then I cried. I cried. I filled the girl's cup full of fanboy tears.
And didn't Hera have like some type of like Russian accent in the?
No.
Or not, but she had some type of.
It wasn't. No, she didn't have a French accent or anything like that.
No. She sounded normal.
Who had the French accent? The Twilight. There was an episode of.
It was. I think it was the. That was in Clone Wars. Some of the original Twi'leks, because they are meant to be kind of that. It was like her kid self. She did. But now she just has a regular basic accent.
Hey, and I'm gonna be honest. I really, really, really loved fucking. Oh God, Bradley sending me pictures.
Oh no.
What is this? Grand Admiral pencils and parsecs. Grand Admiral Thrawn. He's got eyeballs. Where is this from, Bradley?
Yeah, Joker. They have been unable to do Twi'leks right for since Disney took over.
Man, Bradley, what the hell are you doing, bud? Fucking making a comic and shit. Oh, let me make a drink. Turn my can back on. But yeah, I mean, so in some lights she looks okay, but in other lights she looks like her bad Twi'lek.
Yeah.
Like we said, the dancer in Jabba's palace in some aspects looks a hell of a lot better. She did not because she was mostly nude. But they had to make her look good because she was mostly nude.
Ayla Secura looked great for the few scenes she even had.
But she looks like a chick with a hat on.
Yeah, basically. Like cosplayers do a better job than
Disney has enough money to put a man on Mars, and this is what we get.
Well, I mean, that was one of the problems too with Book of Dad Bod Fett. The Twi'lek in that show looked bad too. All of them did. I mean, all the Twi'leks that they had, and they seem so proud of it.
And I can tell. So I'm shocked they haven't gone into this because I don't know if any of y'all have read Lords of the Sith.
No.
I really
is that
enjoyed that
the
book.
is that by the same who wrote it? Sean Williams?
I can't remember who wrote it, but it's about her dad and them taking a Star Destroyer down that had the Emperor and Vader on it, and they get trapped on Ryloth, whatever it is. And her dad is hunting them down, and Vader and Palpatine are trying to escape. They get stuck separately. Their shuttle gets shot down, all this crazy shit. But it goes into like the Twi'lek sex trade.
Right. They've been very like and that was one of the episodes in the Clone Wars too, was dealing with Ryloth and their slavery business, and that got Anakin all heated, of course.
Yeah, but I'm shocked that they aren't going into that. Yeah, I see you made that. That's pretty cool looking.
Yeah, Lords of the Sith was written by Paul S. Kemp.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I actually enjoyed that book because there's like a whole thing like Vader wants to kill Palpatine the whole time, and Palpatine knows it. And Palpatine's just like taunting him, like, come on, you think you can do it? And they end up with like these alien creatures that are like alien from the movie. Kind of. I think their blood's acidic like and all this other shit.
Xenomorphs?
Yeah. And they're like xenomorphs, and fucking Palpatine's just like flipping through, using Force Crush, throwing them all over the place, and Vader's like swithing through him. He's like, "Oh, I could stab him right now." And Palpatine's like, "You think you can?"
You think you can do it?
So just the dynamic between Palpatine and Vader made that book good. Because that was the rule, the thing of the Sith. The apprentice always wants to defeat the master. That's how you move on.
Yeah, the master embodies the power and the apprentice craves it.
Right. Well, you even see that in Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, Anakin wanted to very quickly bump off Palpatine and start ruling the galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing, too, because this was...
Disney used to have enough money to put a man on Mars. So, when I was standing in line for Ashley Eckstein, we stood there for 2 hours because she was doing an interview or something else, doing a podcast or something. And we were standing there waiting. I was like 20th in line. And I was talking to all these people, and they're like pro Disney Star Wars and all this shit. And they're like, oh, no. Like, I like the movie, but I will call them out for being stupid or having bad CGI in a minute. That's where I got the line. I was like, they can put a man on Mars if they wanted to. There is no reason for those special effects to be bad. And God, get that fucking space whale off the screen.
I wanted it for Hitman.
It's a cool dynamic, but Purgle should not have been used as much as they were.
They're going to get involved with him too. I'm guessing.
No, Thrawn didn't die.
Space Whales.
Like, I get the point of Purgle's like the mysterious creature that takes ships out of hyperspace. I get that. I thought that was a cool dynamic, but they spent way too much fucking time on him, and bringing him in the last fucking episode was dumb. Key jangling.
I don't understand it. I don't get it. The octopus hybrid whale killing him on the Chimera. No.
Wrapping Thrawn up like a...
No.
But they didn't kill him. He's still alive. But you know who we don't see is Ezra. Ezra's dead.
Ezra we don't see yet.
So I'm thinking that's what they figured out. No, I think They went on their journey at the end of after the Battle of Endor, and they found out that Ezra's fucking dead, and neither one of them could move on, and that's why they separated.
Felt like mission failure. So
Right. Like that was their whole reason to go find Ezra. It wasn't to go find Thrawn. It was to go find Ezra. But like I said, all this is a moot point. It all leads to the First Order, the Sith army. It leads to all this.
Right.
The Empire at this point, per Disney canon, is
All
like
roads
3 or 4 Star Destroyers. Most of them are cruisers.
All roads lead to the sequel trilogy.
Right. And they've all turned into fucking warlords is what they are. That's what the guy on fucking...
And that's even what they were in the original canon too. Was they all became warlords and
right. So that
was like the whole point of that's the whole point of Thrawn was when he came back from wild space was that he consolidated everything, brought them back into one, and that's how they quickly became a brand new threat. That was the whole point of him.
Yeah, Duke's got a good point there.
I'm thinking Ezra becomes an Inquisitor. He is male after all and can't be a hero in KK Star Wars. Well, that might be maybe he's gonna be.
Maybe he's Snake Eyes.
The Snake Eyes, yeah. He has kind of Merrick in the name, which some people have gone, oh, Galen Merrick, like Starkiller and everything from Force Unleashed, but maybe he's gonna be it. That's gonna be their big reveal. I'm trying to find
dude, if they bring Starkiller into this, they're just gonna fucking destroy all of Disney. And that would make sense with a new toy.
Whoa, they came out with a new
toy. He might just be Ezra. That might just be it. That was a good point.
Like I said, he's either dead or the big bad. Because remember, Thrawn is going to be the base good guy.
Right, he's the in between.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I've also thought that they would possibly turn Ezra into the Cybioth for their Thrawn, for their version of the Thrawn series.
Which that sucks that actor passed away too. He was also in Punisher and a couple other things.
Oh,
Ray Stevenson, yeah.
Ray Stevenson, yeah.
Yep.
He was the guy that was in the beginning of the Ahsoka trailer, yeah.
Yeah,
that's the guy that stabs the dude.
Mm.
But lightsabers kill people now, guys.
So, well,
do they though? Do they?
Yeah. Well, we had the whole discussion about Force Unleashed. He's like, that's where Wiffle Bat started. I'm like, yeah, but you couldn't have it in a video game where you're just lopping people in half and shit.
You did in Jedi
Outcast and Jedi Academy.
1000%, man. You know how many Rhodians I freaking lobbed off arms with, or how many Rhodian arms I lopped off with? Great game, man. Not freaking for Fallen Order.
For that style of game,
look at Joker's last message.
Do you think Filoni has the balls to helicopter lightsaber? Please do it. Please do it. I was saying the same thing.
Yeah.
I want him to do it. I want him to put it on screen.
You won't.
I think that was part of Rebel. I think it was one of Rebel's biggest critiques.
Physically
was the
not possible.
Like floating down with it, I get it with the Force, but like flying, no. They fly now.
Yeah.
It's literally like Superman meets Sailor Moon.
Yeah, that was
Superman is Sailor Moon now. Did you see my short?
No,
we went over it last week. The little clip.
Mm. Oh, Mr. Bug's been ripping that shit apart.
Oh, I know. He's
been
laying.
But again, like jumping off a building, like now it doesn't make any sense. Like
I could see like floating down from the rooftop of a building, but not flying across the screen like they did in Rebels. They like literally use it to pick up and fly off.
Yeah.
Like a hell.
Is there get out of jail free card basically?
Yeah.
Like you can there's there's force jump, right? But there's not like force save me from or
from
flying.
I've never seen Wookiees shirtless or pantless. Please don't ever do that. What the fuck are you talking about, Joker?
Wait, look, is Wookiee around there doing the helicopter with a lightsaber?
It's too short to do the helicopter. It just flops from side to side.
I mean, Joker only said shirtless. He didn't mention pants, so that was you adding that in there.
Well, I mean, so what? This comes out on what, Wednesday or Thursday?
It's on a Wednesday.
Yeah, so if we did a live show, Bradley, it would have to be before the pregame.
What is it?
Are they
August
doing a
23rd.
two-parter?
Yeah, August 23rd is a Wednesday.
Yeah, so we'd have to do it before the pregame. Because they drop it at fucking 2 a.m. If they dropped it at 9 o'clock, it would be. I'd fucking do it.
I know I'll be able to watch it.
Because we could do it in 2 hours. I'd be in bed by 11 o'clock.
We're gonna live
Drop it at
stream
fucking
this?
2 a.m. Yeah, I'm gonna watch every fucking episode of this shit. I'd EFAP that shit. Put a fucking screen up with a fucking banner across it. So worst thing to do is take the stream down. It'll still be up on Rumble.
Right. No, we've dabbled in the of wanting to do like live watch party or whatever the hell. But since we're not on camera, I just don't see the appeal to anybody wanting to watch us.
I'll wear my helmet.
Sit there quietly and
I'll wear my helmet.
maybe occasionally mock it.
Yeah, it'd be 12 to 8 a.m. Yeah. Yeah, it drops at like midnight or something.
Yeah, they drop it. They drop
California
it right
time.
At midnight.
Because you know why they do that, right?
I have no clue.
So the shills can get their reviews out before anybody else.
Ah, yes.
That's like Book of Boba Fett, Mandalorian. I get up in the morning, take the morning constitutional, get a cup of coffee, and turn my phone on. And like, boop! Oh, there's screenshots, there's clips. You know,
Yeah, I always avoided.
It fucking ruined it. Literally ruined Mando season 1. Like I had to avoid the internet for those days because they dropped it at such an odd time, and the people that are up 24/7 or the ones who sleep all day are fucking producing the content.
Or then, for people like Raging Rhino, who's in Australia, he gets it like in a weird time zone. So he's basically like that, throwing his review.
He probably
out.
gets it first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just pop it right out and you'd have a
right. And it kind of fucks everybody else in the middle. People that work 8 to 5 are fucked.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah. I even tried like getting up early to watch Mandalorian. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't get up. I'm sleeping till like 10 minutes before I got time to drink coffee and smoke a cigarette and go to work.
My days off happen to be the Wednesdays, so it's like, all right, well, up early. I'm always up early anyway, so.
Yeah, but it'd be Thursday morning.
No, it'll be Wednesday.
Yeah, because it drops technically.
Oh wait, no, you're right. Thursday.
Well, no, if it drops at midnight on the 23rd, that'll make it Wednesdays.
Yeah.
Let's see when it comes out. You got to remember when did Mandalorian come out? Same release days.
Yeah, it was always the Wednesday morning. I'd be my first day off, and
we can do a live stream Wednesday afternoons. We can swap channels and do all that shit. We'll talk about it later.
Sure, sounds good.
And
yeah,
just have to do it on my when I get off of work.
No problem.
I want to hear Hitman melt. I want to hear Hitman melt.
It's gonna happen,
dude. The mask is going off like you're just letting the hate flow.
I've been dreading this series or this show for a long time because
I have too. I'm a big Ahsoka fan. When they brought Ahsoka into Rebels, I'm like, fuck yeah! And then when she fought Vader, I'm like, that bitch is dead. And then they brought her back, and I'm like, huh?
Yeah, like nobody's really dead.
Were you really that surprised? Come on, Wookie.
I wasn't, and it was just it was a mystery box to get her to be alive.
Right. He knew he couldn't let it.
Because I remember, do you remember the whole thing Ahsoka Lives? That was before they introduced her on Clone Wars.
Yeah, I think so.
So I have the hologram pop signed by Ashley Eckstein.
Oh, really?
At one time, it was worth a lot of money. But everybody thought that was Force Ghost Ahsoka.
Oh, I thought the
And
whole
at the same time, like, she can't be a Force Ghost. She's not that powerful.
no, and she would have never been trained to do so.
Right.
Qui-Gon never finished the training, and he's not supposed to have a physical Force Ghost
The reason
either.
Anakin is because Obi-Wan intercepted him, his soul,
And quickly trained him before he died.
because
Yeah.
he was that powerful. Yes.
He wasn't lying when he said, "I'll become more powerful than you could ever imagine."
Yeah. I want them to do a Black Series Qui-Gon Force Ghost, and it's just a bunch of butterflies.
Well, they are doing a Force Ghost Qui-Gon, and he's a Force Ghost. Poor Rhino just had a meltdown over it too.
He
on
never
Casual
appeared as a
Rage.
Force Ghost.
That was his point. That was Rhino's point. He was never completed the training. He should never have a form. It should be basically an empty box.
That's
but
all. That's
they're
also
releasing
in Rebels, right?
what?
The butterflies. It's also in Rebels. He was just like little bugs.
Oh, was he? I don't.
I thought that's where Qui-Gon spoke to Obi-Wan. It was like, "There's more I need to teach you." No, it may have been Clone Wars.
Maybe it was Clone Wars.
I don't know, because so Yoda had to go see the Wills to learn it.
No, he learned from Qui-Gon.
No, Yoda, when he went and seen the Wills and learned everything that was going to transpire, that was like season 6 which was the deleted season or whatever. So they had plans to produce it, but they never put out. It's where they showed Cad Bane putting the dent in Boba Fett's helmet and all that shit. Revan was supposed to be in there.
No, because that's in the Revenge of the Sith book. There's the conversation between the two, between Qui-Gon and Yoda, and basically, it's Yoda going, "Yes, I'll. Looks like I'm now your apprentice."
But
Taught by Qui-Gon to become a Force Ghost.
Right. So I thought I was thinking Yoda got it from the Wills, because that's where he learns about what's going to happen, that who Palpatine is and everything else.
Right.
Then he comes back and has to pretend like everything's fine, or else the Jedi would ostracize him and think he went to the dark side.
I think he went a little crazy.
Like, I think the inclusion of the Wills in that trailer is I'm fine with that. I also think that was also in Rebels, in the World Between Worlds. The Wills.
Yeah, for this whole thing here, yeah.
Yeah. I think it was a little bit clear. Oh, there it goes. Cleared up. But they were way more happier than that. Like, they all had permanent smiles.
I'm gonna have to rewatch that episode because I really don't recall it. I mean,
Like, I thought that episode was destructive at the same time. Qui-Gon set him on the path to the Wills. That's what it was, and then he went to the Wills and learned it.
Right.
Yeah. Qui-Gon hadn't perfected it when he died. That's why he was still little bugs. But yeah, like I said, I would like to see something like the creation of the Wills or something.
I think that's what they've been talking about. Some new series that's going to be dropping that they're quote unquote they were working on.
Yeah, but it's fucking mangled, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fucking mangled.
Yeah, it's gonna fucking suck, dude. Like, you need a George Lucas to do this. You really
good
need
luck.
You need someone that's fucking like autistic, because George Lucas is a bit autistic.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah, you need someone that is fucking autistic with this shit. That's what I said about time travel, fucking multiverses. There is not many writers that are capable of pulling this off.
Well, and I mean, Lucas himself.
And I see this every day in the corporate world. They think anybody can sell fucking parts. Anybody can sell service. We can just put anybody in there to do the fucking job. No, it's corporatism.
You need
This is
somebody
100% corporatism.
Well, I mean, and Lucas himself said
I've kind of lost control of Star Wars, so it's going off in a different path than what I intended. But the first 6 are very much mine and my philosophy.
Dude, and that was excellent because he was talking to
the school, like a kids.
School, and all kids were asking him questions. Yeah,
and his wife was running it, and then he just happened to came in and he kind of brought him in, and so he answered some questions, and yeah. He's not. I don't think he's coming back anytime soon. On top of it, he's comfortable with where he is. I think.
And Joker, I agree with you. I think there's a lot of Star Wars films that are not going to happen because you're going to right now. We're looking at a shutdown past September towards the end of the year, October, November, at least before anybody's willing to work with anybody. And that shit with Ron Perlman, we'll get into that. This guy's a fucking idiot. And I'm not even going to go the direction. Everybody's going the direction.
Yeah, I want to
you
get your thoughts on Ron
You
Perlman.
can't say people lose their houses. The motherfucker has no idea how a fucking strike works.
Should I get that stupid clip? Did you drop it in the Discord wiki?
I'm not. I have it bookmarked.
Yeah, I find it.
Let's see.
Somebody can pull it up.
Yeah, I posted it, and it had my say on it. Yeah.
I know they played it on FNT last night. That's where I first.
There you go. I'm going to put it in a private chat right here.
Sure.
But yeah, so this guy has no idea how a strike works. The idea of a strike is both sides are making the other one lose money. They're denying each other goods and service and payment. And his take on this is retarded.
Oh God, this fucking guy.
One thing before I get off this. The motherfucker who said we're going to keep this thing going until people start losing their houses and their apartments. Listen to me, motherfucker. There's a lot of ways to lose your house. Some of it is financial. Some of it is karma. And some of it is just figuring out who the fuck said that. And we know who said that.
He's talking about Iger.
Yeah.
$27 million a year.
There's a lot of ways to lose your house. You wish that on people. You wish that families starve while you're making $27 fucking million a year for creating nothing. Be careful, motherfucker. Be really careful. Because that's the kind of shit that stirs shit up. Peace out.
This guy thinks he's his fucking characters from a show.
So, yeah, well, that's what everybody was saying. But so the actors and the writers are starving the producers of content. Correct?
Right.
Which is in turn starving them of financial gain. And the movie studios are denying the actors and writers what they want, so they continue on strike, which is denying them financial gain. They are both denying each other financial gain. This is the fucking game. Who can outlast who?
Right. War of attrition.
Yeah. And Joker, yeah, that is a threat. It is 100% a threat.
Without a doubt.
I'm not even looking at that because that's what everybody said, but nobody's explained how a strike works. And that this guy is fucking retarded and doesn't know how a strike works.
He's the king of bad takes. He's always...
The fucking vaccine has soaked into his fucking brain. By the way, check out the shirt. You sound vaccinated.
Nice. Hitman, what do you have to... You certainly wanted to bring it up, so I was just kind of curious what you had to...
I almost have to listen to this again. I've listened to this like 3 times trying to figure out what the guy's actually like.
So
saying,
he's complaining that an executive said that they were going. It came out that they were planning on starving the GA out about until October. They figured most of them would be losing their apartments and houses by that time. Then they'd be ready to come back to the table and agree. They do not want to give streaming residuals. They do not want those numbers out there. That is the last thing Hollywood wants because it would be admitting failure.
I think it's very interesting. I don't know how. I mean, it's this post I found is from Variety. I don't know, but the thing was, did you see what I posted in Discord, Fractured?
Which one? Oh, the
Bob Iger.
Script Trooper. What Script Trooper
Yeah.
was sharing out? Yeah, let me bring that up really quick.
I don't know if it was just a. It was just it looks like it's just
traction.
Yeah, Disney CEO Bob Iger says writers and actors are not being realistic with strikes. It's very disturbing to me.
But see, that's oh God, it's Bruce Campbell's trending. Don't tell me he died.
Oh God.
No, he's not dead. Okay, we're good.
All right, cool.
But no, fucking they're writing shit. There's more writers than they can possibly fucking ever employ.
And they want to employ more too.
And then people don't understand the guilds want you to be part of it so they have more power.
Absolutely.
People don't understand power struggle. If you're worth your weight in money, you will get paid it. If you're mediocre, you're gonna have to latch onto the WGA and stuff like that.
See ya, Duke. Thanks for stopping in, man.
Later,
Appreciate
Duke.
it.
Later. See you tomorrow. But yeah, I mean, I'm full merit system. You get paid by what you do, what your worth is.
Yeah.
And so much and so forth. These writers want, the only thing I agree with the writers want is they want streaming royalties, which they get from broadcast TV. They get paid quite well from like shows like Friends, stuff like that. That are still being watched every day.
Stuff, yeah.
Right. When you make good content, you will get paid. When you make shit content,
do they still
like
get
the She-Hulk
royalties
writer
from,
that said he got paid
Friends? What was it? Do they still get paid from Friends?
Yes, they get paid every time that episode airs.
That's insane.
Yeah. So there's people from the 80s still getting paid because some of that shit's still on.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the writer from She-Hulk that did the episode that Daredevil appeared in got $398 in streaming royalties. Yes, that sucks. You also suck.
Yeah, but She-Hulk was absolutely atrocious.
And it got shit views. And it got fucking shit views. But they're using it as a prime example. That's all I got paid. We don't know how many people watched it. I didn't get paid on how many people watched it. I just got paid a set fee, which I think is bullshit. If you write fucking crap, you should get paid like fucking crap.
Yeah, like Joby Harold.
That's what they want, like a minimum of 10 writers per room before the show even goes live. All this other shit. Like, you go back to the 80s sitcoms. What the hell is the one where the guy rips the fucking paper out of the typewriter at the end? How many shows was that on? Like fucking 10?
Yeah.
Oh,
that
man.
guy wrote so many fucking shows up until like the late 90s.
Yeah.
God, I can't count how many TV shows I've ever seen that at the end of.
Right. That guy wrote so much shit. I have to look it up and see who it is. The way I have it for Sunday. But yeah, I mean, you're not going to get paid for making shit.
No,
you're going to get paid. You're going to get paid for making quality content. And
But
I
why
want
is
these
Ron
streaming
Perlman,
numbers.
out of everybody, why is Ron Perlman the guy to come out and start like opening his mouth? Like, who? I didn't even know Ron Perlman until Fracture told me.
Fucking
I didn't
Joker.
know. Yeah, I didn't know.
Cocaine and capitalism. Those are good
Hey,
days
more
for
coke, less
entertainment.
woke. I want that. I'm waiting for Gary to make that fucking shirt. I will buy it in a minute. So I agree with the streaming service numbers. Plus, it would vindicate a lot of fucking YouTubers. It would vindicate a lot of us, and they don't want that. They don't because their stock prices would drop.
So you agree with the streaming royalty or against?
Yes,
it?
I mean you should get paid per click.
Yeah,
and I'm sure it's like YouTube. It's per 1,000, but if you write a fucking killer episode and it's directed properly and a motherfucker gets 10 million views, you should get paid accordingly.
Yeah.
Most of these writers come in and write 1 or 2 hit shows and fucking retire.
Yeah.
I just like that transparency of it, just to know, so how well is this show actually doing with their episode to episode basis?
And there's a prime example when we look at video games. What's the only stat you can ever see? Steam charts.
Yeah, the Steam charts.
Microsoft, PlayStation, Bethesda launcher. Well, the Bethesda launcher's gone, but like the Blizzard launcher, all that shit does not report. So they can make a game and claim it's the fucking greatest in the world and no one's playing it.
Absolutely.
So this does not only affect Hollywood, this affects a lot of things. And it should be open and public knowledge. It is a publicly traded company. If you don't want to share that knowledge, go private.
Right. Well, and it kind of goes back to what we clip we played earlier of George Lucas saying how much he hated Hollywood and how he, strived to do his project independently for Star Wars and all that, and he didn't want to be a part of it. He wanted to be away from it. And I mean, that's kind of what I think you would have thought with his success, it might have spawned more people wanting to try and go that route. I can only hope maybe this helps, but doubtful because people are too ingrained with the idea of winning that place in Hollywood. But
Joker, you set up a time and a place with Tom Connors and you. I'll be more than happy to host or join his channel. I'm not going to do any cocaine. I'm still in recovery, but
Lord.
But yeah, I mean, this is part of the problem is they have free reign to do what they want and shit all over our beloved products. They have destroyed all of our heroes.
Yep.
And they're going to destroy newer heroes now with this series.
So let me understand this correctly. So the writers are absolute crap. So they're not producing anything good. So the actors aren't making any money, or they're not getting paid what they think they should get paid, or they're just not getting paid, so they're going on strike, or is it because of the streaming royalty? Like
the major thing between both guilds is the streaming royalty, and supposedly SAG is striking in solidarity with the WGA, which is the Writers Guild of America. So they're striking in solidarity with them. No one has even spoken to the Writers Guild.
Yeah.
The AMPTP has not even tried to. They gave them an offer before they went on strike. Since they've been on strike, they haven't spoke to them. Everything I've watched, they haven't spoke to them at all. And the stuff coming out about they figured around October these people would be out of the way. Now you have people like Schiff, a couple other congressmen and stuff like that from California are trying to shove their nose in it. It wouldn't shock me if we get some sort of communism in California with Hollywood.
Oh, for sure.
They've been pushing for that for some time, practically.
Yeah. And these Hollywood actors and writers don't care if it's you buying tickets or paying for a streaming service or a paycheck from the federal government. The same person still pays the bill.
One way
I'm
or another,
very
they get
curious
paid.
to see, because you mentioned, getting like streaming royalties and everything. I'm very curious to see how many subscribers Disney gets for like Disney Plus, because that they went
45 million for North America, which includes Canada and Mexico, is what their current subscriber base is in North America. That is shit. It's 130 million. There's 130 million registered voters in the United States.
That's insane. So and then some of them are paying, what we talking about for actually like $8.99 a month versus $89.99 a year or whatever it is.
For what?
For Disney Plus, you do the monthly, which was like it was $10.99 a month. They raised it. It was like $10.99 a month or like $89 a year or something like that.
I haven't looked in a while for what their rates were.
Well, that's what it was.
They price hike. Now they have an ad tier. HBO Max has done the same thing. I need to see if my HBO Max account still works.
Last time I checked, I don't know if Disney did. I don't know if they done the ad stuff yet, where you could pay for like.
Hulu. Yeah, they have an ad tier, and they're combining Hulu and Disney Plus.
So you get them both You get Hulu and Disney Plus for $9.99 a month, or Hulu, Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, all three starting at $12.99 a month.
They're banking on that ESPN Plus. ESPN is carrying Disney,
and then,
which I don't get. Fucking people were boycotting the NFL, the NBA, the baseball, whatever the hell all that shit is, and then they go right back 3 months later. Like, shut up, have some fucking balls and cojones. All right, be right back.
Yeah, these two tiers are with ads. Each one has ads, but then the $19.99 a month that you see is then the one with no ads for Disney Plus and Hulu. Which is funny that they don't mention ESPN Plus being no ads, but maybe that's already considered.
So they need to partner with they need to basically go the ad route because they're losing money. But then
Yeah,
they're going
need to set up a form of
but then
ad
they're going to be
revenue.
like, well, we're going to give, but we'll offer you, because nobody likes ads. So then we're going to offer you this package where you don't have to have ads. So they're like double dipping almost.
Almost, yeah.
We're taking the money from the ad companies because we need the money to support or to run our platform. But then we're going to offer an option for that very platform that we're taking. It's like, my head hurts. It's like we're broke to where we need the ad revenue, right? We need these companies to give us the money to promote, to market their stuff or whatever, promote their stuff, but then we're going to offer no ads. That's just so shystery, man. It's so shystery.
Yeah, it's I'm gonna say it. It's retarded.
It's retarded. Joker saying Ron Perlman will not be affected by this strike. Is those who do commercials and some voice actors who are gonna feel the effects. But voice actors, are they part of the Actors Guild? I mean, I almost see it as being separate half the time, because I also know that not too long ago they were trying to fight for different wages or almost their own union and shit like that. So,
I'm interested to see Sunday what AJ has to say, because he's like, Ahsoka's the GOAT, but this show is shit, is what he posted on comment on our video.
Oh, really?
And, yeah. And he's like, bro, remember Thursday? He's like, let me on there. Let's talk Ahsoka. I'm interested to see what he has to say.
A lot of D+ subscribers come from bundles with cellular plans. Yep.
Yeah. Everybody at my work that has Verizon cell phone has Disney Plus for free, which is not free. You're still paying for it.
ESPN owns college sports. College sports generates way more revenue.
Roll Tide.
That's
if I don't say Roll Tide, my mom will come in here and slap me in the back of the head.
I understand.
Yeah. Oh, she's an Alabama fan, hardcore. I'd rather watch college football than watch NFL.
You're getting less of the shit from it, last I knew.
Well, just those guys play harder.
Well, they're playing.
Yeah, they're playing to get a spot. They're not. Haven't made it, and they're worth like $44 million. If they break a leg, they're fucked.
Right, and they're gonna chill the hell out.
Mm-hmm. They're willing to break that leg to get there.
Absolutely. Definitely need more of that. Bring
Joker,
that back.
do you see Mags's tweet about going to go see Mission Impossible 7? Hold on, I have to look. I have to look and see if he's simping in the chat.
So it doesn't. So back to the ad thing for Disney, it doesn't look like they've done they haven't started it yet, from what I've seen. When are they supposed to start that? The different tiers.
We already just showed it off. They already have the different tiers.
Yeah, they already have.
Well, I know.
They already have it.
I don't see that it's.
Yeah. But isn't Disney supposed to sell off Hulu? They're talking about selling off ABC. Oh, and by the way, Miss Marvel is airing on ABC full season.
I saw that earlier. Yeah, I saw that.
Well, and that's that. So they did that to get an influx of cash from ABC that is rich, and Disney is not, because they own it. But that's what they do. They like lease. So Marvel leases the shows from Disney Plus to Disney Plus for $100 and some million for cash infusion. So they're leasing the show to ABC to infuse cash into Disney Plus.
Right, and that was how some of these companies were making their money, was leasing out these different shows and movies and stuff like that to the streaming services.
But they're not technically making money. They're just transferring it from one pocket to the other. We do the same thing with sales and service. Like, we work on used cars.
Right.
There's no money really being made. It's just transferring money from service to sales, or sales to service. They have to buy Comcast out of their share of Hulu, but then can't, like, Comcast cut them out of the fucking shows.
I mean, I was hearing how Comcast was part of the reason why the Fox deal was so exorbitant too.
No, no one watches Fox anymore since Tucker Carlson's gone.
Right. Well, now there's that. Yeah.
Yeah. Although I think Gutfeld is still the highest ranked late night. Well, none of the other late night shows are on right now, so it doesn't really matter. But because they need comedians to write their shit for their comedians. Jimmy Fallon can read a fucking line, but he can't come up with shit.
I've never liked Fallon.
I always thought Fallon was one of those funky guys that's not allowed near school.
I never quite got that vibe off of him.
Oh, I get that vibe from hardcore.
Oh,
Same
boy.
thing with what's his name? Jimmy Kimmel.
Oh, I hate Jimmy
Trump's
Kimmel.
trying to take your baby's health care.
God. The man that was once behind the Man Show.
Oh, dude, have you ever heard Adam Carolla talk about him?
No, I haven't. I thought he was usually diplomatic about him, but I don't know.
No,
At least-
there's a couple of interviews where he said he's a fucking pussy.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. ABC is just moving money from one pocket to another. If they were to license Miss Marvel out to Netflix or Prime, they'd make money. Right. They're just moving money from one side to the other.
Right.
And the fact that they're putting a Disney Plus exclusive out before the movie comes out because they can't do any promo work. They can only have like directors and producers talk about it because they're not part of the SAG. Oh, and the writer for Miss Marvel is writing the new comic.
And they just announced the new comic too.
Now she's a mutant inhuman.
Yeah.
They're gonna give her the powers of the MCU to make it work.
The rare
Dude,
time they're making
Disney is so corrupt and so just vile. Like, the only thing I think worse is fucking Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power.
Oh God.
As far as being blasphemous.
Right.
To
their own to the
and you can look at it like, guys, we grew up with this stuff. This is kind of like our nerd religion. It may not overrule our lives, but Jedi is a recognized religion, by the way. It's time we made Sith one. But no, like
already.
So Luke's destroyed, Han's destroyed, Indy's destroyed, Master
Willow
Chief's
got the
destroyed.
I thought we were just talking about Disney properties.
Mad Mardigan was destroyed. Fuck Willow.
I was just talking about the series as a whole.
Oh yeah, that was like we're not showing that anymore.
Yeah, they took it off of
Which makes no sense because nothing but data storage. Like AWS, I'm sure is providing them all they fucking need.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so like I said, look, Mad Mardigan, Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, Indiana Jones. Who are they going to go after next?
Mara Jade.
No, they go after. I mean,
No, Mara Jade will be a black blind woman with one leg.
Well, we'll have to also see what they do to Mon Mothma and Ahsoka, considering we're seeing her in it. And
yeah, I heard they ripped her uterus out Andor.
Oh, dude, it was bad. It was bad.
You don't like Mon Mothma?
No. And where's Bale? Nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
Bail Organa was nowhere to be found. Mon Mothma's political savvy was all but gone as well. She was a complete flippin' retard. She was basically then prostituting out her daughter because she was in debt at the end.
Oh wait, so is Andor her son?
No.
Oh, okay. I was gonna be like, that's funny.
No.
She likes it caliente.
Andor apparently was kidnapped off a planet, and he basically had Stockholm syndrome, thinking this woman was his mother.
Well, remember they announced the Andor and K2SO show. They didn't announce Andor. They announced Andor and K2SO.
Was that what it originally was?
Yes, it was Andor and K2SO, which I was fine with that because I like K2SO. I think Rogue One wasn't a bad film. It had its moments where you're like, this is stupid, but it had a lot of good moments too. Mainly
I was just kind of like,
and
I was just like, this should be Kyle Katarn.
I still say if you take Vader out of it, it's not memorable.
No, it's not.
No,
you take either of the Vader scenes, and it's just kind of like, all right, whatever.
And the last scene was filmed months after the movie was done.
Yep, that was one of the reshoots.
Yep. And that was supposedly written by a guy that is Mom Mothra. Get it right.
Basically, now another corrupt
Godzilla.
Yep. So Filoni can't promote the Ahsoka show. Is that because he is the voice of Chopper, thus making him an actor of the series? Well, he's also the writer, creator.
Well, also he's a writer, so he's part of the WGA.
Yeah.
And from what I was trying to find online, it looks like he's part of SAG also because he had speaking roles on Mandalorian.
That's right, Mandalorian as well.
That made him. You have to be a member of SAG to do that. So that's where they get you. And then a lot of people talk about that when they're acting and stuff, and they find out that it doesn't matter if you're acting or not. If you want these roles, you have to pay SAG.
Yeah.
And so they use money to push people out of becoming actors. So it's kind of like,
That's right, Joker. That was my walking away point with Rogue when everybody had.
When I watched it, I'm like, well, what about the many Bothans that died?
Well, that was
where are the Bothans? I didn't even go to Kyle Katarn. I went to Bothans.
That was the second Star Destroyer. Or Death Star, sorry. That was the second Death Star.
No, it was the first Death Star.
No, it was the second one.
It was the second one.
Mon Mothma said, yeah, she's like, she was the one that was saying many Bothans, and that was when she was brought in, was in Return of the Jedi, and she's like, many Bothans died to bring us this information.
Okay, I know it was one of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, and Kyle Katarn came into mind too.
Yeah.
I didn't play the games, but I knew the stories because I'm a nerd.
Yeah. And basically, Andor and Jyn Erso are basically amalgamations of both Kyle Katarn and Jan Ors.
So I got a really good story. It's a little dirty about the Donnie Yen thing. So my best friend, time, God rest his soul, we were joking around when at work bullshit, and I'm like, dude, you should pull the force is with me. The force is with me. Oh, the force is not with me next time you have sex with a wife. And he fucking did it. And as soon as they got done, she's like, Rich told you to do that, didn't he?
Oh, shit.
Christina was a good sport. But yeah, it was. So me and him went and watched Rogue One, and we were standing in the parking lot. I'm like, that was a good movie. And I'm like, hey, we're sitting there talking. I'm like, well, yeah, but take Vader out of it. He's like, yeah. But he like solo. He was still stuck on member berries when he passed away.
Oof.
Yeah. At least he got to go out happy. He wasn't disgruntled.
Yeah, I mean, hey,
I took his fucking urn to go watch fucking Rise of Palpatine. I made sure to wait 2 weeks till after the movie was out, though.
Why'd you torture the poor dead man?
Well, we would have gone to go see it together. We went and seen The Last Jedi, and I walked out, sat on the bench, smoked a cigarette. He went to the bathroom, and he come out and he goes, "Man, what'd you think?" I said, "Man, I don't know if that's as good as Clone Wars." I have to pick like the worst Star Wars movie, and I'm like,
Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, Attack of the Clones, and I'm like, I can't. Like, I went and watched it again because I'm like, it can't be that bad. That was the only movie I ever yelled "fuck" at the goddamn movie screen. Twice. Once when Luke threw the lightsaber over his shoulder, and once when fucking Snoke got cut in half.
Oh God. That was the thing. Like, I knew.
Did he get cut in half? Is that how you remember?
Yeah, they cut him in half. Why didn't he get spider legs?
Well, the thing was too.
Like, I think it would have been better. I think it would have been better if they'd have just made Snoke a fucking clone. That version of Snoke a clone, and you got to see the real Snoke at the fucking end of it. He's like part mechanical and shit. 'Cause he's been all fucked up. You know, that would have been better. Instead of bringing in fucking Palpatine. Because I'm pretty sure Rian Johnson intentionally screwed the pooch. And Kathleen Kennedy was all about it.
Oh yeah, all about it.
I watched the behind the scenes shit where all the way through filming, she's just fucking blowing this dude, swallowing loads.
And Filoni has credited him for being the one that was basically giving him guidance for directing and shit like that.
Rian Johnson's not a bad director. Shitty writer. Rian Johnson's not a bad director. He just sucks at writing, and he fucking wanted to play too much in the sandbox.
Right. No.
He wanted to turn the world upside down. He wanted to outshine J.J. Abrams. That was the whole thing.
He's he's one of those people that definitely needs to be tard wrangled for sure. Like,
well, you would have got the same movie had Taika Waititi fucking directed it.
Oh God.
You put Taika Waititi up against J.J. Abrams, he's going to flip it on his head and fuck J.J. Abrams.
All these people need tard wranglers.
J.J. Abrams should have done all three, and it would have at least been cohesive.
That, yes. That was one of the big sticking points, is that this was just a big incoherent mess.
You could have took Lucas's fucking treatments and done exactly like I said. The first 6 movies are about the rise and fall of Anakin. At least make the next 3 about fucking Luke's life, and the next 3 about fucking the grandkids' life.
Yeah.
You could have just easily followed the EU, paid these fucking guys the royalties they fucking deserved.
Absolutely. The I've kept
if they'd have fucking done Dark Force Rising, I wouldn't have complained as much.
The blueprints were there. I've kept saying it. The blueprints were there for them.
But I mean, honestly, like the Dark Horse comic where Palpatine has all the clones, I wouldn't have bitched as much.
I have problems with that.
I have problems with it, but it's established.
It's established, and it was at least better done than what Disney produced. That's for sure.
They fucked up not putting the 3 together at least for fucking 10 minutes.
Yeah,
and they
would have had the it wasn't a girl boss moment, but they would have had the moment for Leia helping bring Luke back fully to the light, and then them taking out Palpatine once and for all.
But so another cool thing I thought about this today at work. Like they should have actually had Luke fly his X-Wing to Crate. And standing there and letting Kylo Ren take him down. And as he took him down, his body collapsed and it was just Force Ghost Luke. Like that, you'd have been like, oh, fuck, you're fucked, dude. You're fucked, buddy. Because I can't remember the guy that wrote the script for the movie after The Last Jedi that bailed.
They've had so many people on these projects that they've gotten rid of so quickly.
Right, but so that guy had Force Ghost Luke like tormenting Kylo Ren.
I think I remember hearing
like
about
following him around
yeah.
the halls of the Star Destroyer, like, you're never gonna win. This is not how this works. You know, like that would have been
that would have been basically like him in the Legends era with God, his descendant. Forgetting his name.
Jason?
No, not Jason. No, this is the series that took place 100 years after.
Yeah.
And it was, oh God, I'm forgetting his name now. God dang it.
Is it not Jason? It wasn't Jason?
No, not Jason.
Jason was Jaina killed Jason.
Yep, Jaina took him out.
But yeah, I mean, fucking.
It was Cade Skywalker.
Cade Skywalker, yeah.
Cade Skywalker and Luke appears to him as a Force ghost. He keeps trying to like get through to him and talk to him and get him to knock off being such a twat. But you know, that's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, well, that writer probably actually knew about that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Probably, and that's why they got rid of him.
Yeah. Well, no, I think he left.
Oh, he left.
Yeah, so there is like a whole script. Like I think somebody did an animated thing of his movie. I never checked it out because I was just so turned off.
I don't blame
you. And I'll admit, I like after Last Jedi, I fucking did buy shit. I got hooked again. Mandalorian season 1, Mandalorian season 2. When they fired Gina Carano, I'm like, fuck you. That's twice. Fuck off.
I was avoiding it, and then it was just called more of like, okay, I don't have a fear of missing out, but I want to at least have something to talk to my coworkers about instead of always being a stingy asshole about everything. And well, I still ended up being a stingy asshole, but about the show, but at least had something to talk to them about.
Get your computer fixed. I'll send you a link. But yeah, I mean, now I have 4 pending message requests. What the fuck?
You are correct. Ruin Johnson intentionally sabotaged the 3rd film. That's partly why Colin Trevorrow got fired. Huh.
Yeah, Colin Trevorrow, that's him. Yeah. I thought he left. But yeah, I don't fucking understand Disney Star Wars.
Nobody does. Well,
no,
sane
and
people don't.
Dave Filoni needs to stop eating fucking soy. His tits are getting big.
No, he's just fat. He's always been fat.
Had an affair with Darth Talon. I'd like to watch that. Is that on Pornhub?
I'm sure there is. Yeah, 100 years after Darth Crate, one Sith, Cade Skywalker had an affair. Yeah, because he was dating some. Oh, I forgot the hell she was.
I forgot I had this muted. They were saber scissoring. I'm gonna make saber scissoring a trending word. That's my goal.
Saber scissoring.
Sabine and Ahsoka are gonna saber scissor. I bet you.
After we talked, I would not be surprised.
Yeah. They don't have a gay in there. They have to put a gay in there somewhere. They have to check all the boxes.
Well, especially if they want to get nominated and shit.
Yeah. I'm so glad fucking Oppenheimer doesn't give a fuck.
Have you gone to see that yet?
I'm gonna go. No, it doesn't come out until next week. I'm going. I think.
Is that next week?
I haven't watched.
Damn it, Wookie! You beat me to it. Saber scissoring. Hashtag.
Hey, you already got your what sister scissoring or something like that from fucking Last of Us. So I'm doing.
Oh,
saber
good
scissoring.
lord!
Him and Vex got a scissoring thing going on. You can find it.
No.
Well, I should say her OnlyFans, not his OnlyFans. No one wants to see it. I don't want to see his feet. But yeah, what do you guys think Ahsoka's going to bring?
What do you mean? Bring what?
What do you
in
think
terms
it's going
of...
to bring to the Star Wars universe? Do you think it's going to bring? Yeah, scissor me timbers. Do you think it's going to bring some light into the Mandoverse, because this is evidently the time it's taking place? And I'll have to go back and look at that episode on season 2, but I thought she was older at that point. That one woman.
Oh, I don't know.
Was gray and everything.
Maybe I'd have to look at it too, but the only thing I can see this doing is us furthering it, leading to, like we've already said, the sequel trilogy, and it's just going to be more, more ground that we've already tread over. It's not going to bring anything new, I don't think. It's just going to bring in also Thrawn now to this era, to him being somewhere, but they have to get the thing is too, is that they have to get rid of him at some point, because he wasn't around for the First Order and new little Civil War thing going on.
So they're using the world between worlds.
Right.
How shocked would you be if you see Ahsoka open a portal and Luke's getting ready to pull his lightsaber to take down Kylo Ren? As a kid, Ben Solo and Ahsoka.
They're not going to retcon the sequel trilogy.
I'm just saying. Ahsoka reaches through and tells him, "No, don't do it. Work on it."
They aren't going to retcon their sequel.
No, they're not going to retcon it because they're too proud of it.
Yeah, exactly. That would be them admitting they did something wrong. They will never do that.
But that's all they have to do to retcon the entire series. That's all they have to do.
Basically, and also try and make Luke again, because he hasn't even been that in the Mandalorian show when they brought him in. That is still not Luke Skywalker. That is Jake Skywalker.
Though.
It was cool that he sliced up all those droids and everything, but I mean that was just it. It was just a cool moment. That was not.
Yeah, it was just a cool moment. But
even in the
Force Crush, which is supposedly a dark side power, the only other Jedi to use it was Mace Windu.
Well, he had the Shatter Point, which was a completely different kind of ability. But
yeah,
even in the EU, like the Dark Troopers, the original ones, the actual ones, like they weren't anything to play around with.
I thought they were even force sensitive guys. They weren't robots.
No, they were still mechanoids. But
they were capable of taking force. They were like Grievous's fucking guards. In a way,
you could probably, that would probably be accurate. But they were like, it was taking even Mara and Luke to take down the same amount, and they still had trouble. It was not some easy superhero moment sort of thing. And that was also another thing. The Jedi were not superheroes or anything. They were, yes, like humans with these little extra abilities, but it was not to this effect that they've become.
Yeah. So Joker, yes, they could still redo the sequel trilogy, still in the same world.
But they won't. I mean,
No.
Would that constitute them retconning it if they redid it?
Well, I mean, they could still, go find Rey because Rey's the chosen one. Rey's the new chosen one. Go ahead. Fuck. But I'm saying, like, actually fucking hire an actress that can fucking act.
Not Daisy Ridley or whatever.
Razy Diddley is exactly right.
Yeah, Razy Diddley.
Every movie she's in, she plays Rey Skywalker, stiff as a board, waiting to get fucked. She sucks. And she literally sucks. There is like, okay, female British, go.
Yeah.
Everything that Kathleen Kennedy was looking for.
Well, they said that fucking JJ had to work intensively with her to even get the emotion out of her that he got. That ship's garbage. Dude. Oh.
Wiggy, what are your thoughts really quick on if Kathleen's going to be Fracture and I talked about last week if Kathleen was in and out. I don't know if you guys talked about it on your podcast. Do you think she's going or she's staying?
She will leave when she's ready.
That's what Fractured's saying. Yeah.
Yeah. She will. The day she gets fired is the day she quits. I personally think she has too much shit on everybody.
Do you think she does skeletons in the closet?
I'm sure she does. There was probably one night involving leather and gags with fucking George Lucas or something like that. Maybe Bob Iger. Who knows? Bob Iger is still vying for a presidential run, which I'm shocked that they extended his contract.
So 2026 or something like that?
Right, because he wanted to be out by 2024 to be able to run for president. But I don't think Bob Iger, you know what? If Star Wars had turned out great and fucking India had turned out great and all these other things, Marvel had turned out great, he might have a chance. But now there's too many nerds pissed off.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what everybody's saying. It's like, oh, nobody wants that job. Fuck, I'll take that job. Fucking, you don't think Nerdrotic would turn it down for like $25 million a fucking year? Nerdrotic would take that shit. You don't think Critical wouldn't take it? You don't think fucking Razor Fist wouldn't take it? Fucking there's
I had somebody say to me because I said the same thing. I'll take that fucking job.
Yeah, there's probably tons of people. I mean,
but you'd be basically at the behest of Disney.
I'm not going to discredit Kathleen Kennedy for her producer abilities. And I said it the other day. You seen that tweet because you liked it or whatever.
Yeah.
No one's discrediting her for her producer abilities. A producer makes sure shit shows up on the set at times. Make sure this happens for the movie. That happens for the movie. They
get money for the movie and shit like that.
Right. No one's discrediting that. It's the fact that she's got to put her fucking finger on everything and insert her political agenda into the creative side.
Right.
Iger is staying until 2031. After 26, his consultant contract kicks back in 5 years. Oh, he'll probably be a consultant forever. Yeah. Yeah. But everything that's going on has been Iger's thing. Chapek didn't even have a chance to fucking do a goddamn thing that wasn't already said.
Oh, they kicked him out so fast.
But why was that?
They just needed a scapegoat. That's all that was. And the man walked away with like $36 million.
See, nobody talks about that.
Is the lottery draw tonight? I got a ticket.
But nobody talks about that enough of just how much he walked away with. They just say, oh, he got kicked out quickly, but it's never like, oh, but.
And he's got it made.
He'll be a
CEO somewhere else. He ran Disney parks for so long with no problems. He'll just go find a job somewhere else for millions and millions of dollars, or he could fucking retire.
Right.
Yeah. Chapek was a scapegoat for the coup. Yep. So you guys are actually paying attention to corporatism is what you're seeing with this. Corporatism is transferring money from pocket to pocket, covering each other's ass by getting other people fired, shit like that. Like I deal with it every day. I work for a huge company and they come back and they're like, hey, we're going to do this. And we're like, and they don't know what to do. And
Good
then
fucking luck.
everybody in the shop like fucking holds hands and says, fuck you. And they're like, whoa, what do we do? I know we're on corporate shit list because we all stand together and fucking.
They haven't gotten rid of you then.
Yeah. Well, they can't. What are they going to do? Hire me? You can't hire somebody with 20 years of experience for what they pay. Oh, well, and the company has a bad name for the way you treat techs. So, but it is what it is. JPEG will never be in Hollywood again. He could easily work for Yeah, he'll be back in parks. He should probably go to Carowinds or whatever it is and get that fucking ride fixed. It's got like the 3.5-inch gap when the fucking thing goes by.
Oh no.
It's the world's fastest roller coaster or something like that. When the fucking cars go by, it's like a 3-inch gap in the steel beam.
Oh Jesus, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fucking pipe crack. So
Thing you think you'd want to look into and get fixed, but
oh yeah, it was all over the news. That ride shut down.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, they have to replace the whole beam. They can't weld that and fix that. But yeah, and that's what fans of things like Star Wars and indie, and they're getting a firsthand look at how fucked up corporatism is. Like, I'm a pure capitalist. I'm a pure capitalist, but corporatism is not capitalism. It's fucking communism inside of capitalism. In my opinion, one person says we're do this, and all the people in the line say, yes, we're doing this. Who cares if it makes money? Oh, it's your fault we're losing money. That's exactly what corporatism is. And you hear like Gary and stuff talk about corporatism and how it's fucking shit up. You shouldn't have to have a DEI fucking, officer. You shouldn't have to have this. You should just do what's fucking right. And corporate companies don't do that.
Do what's right for your company. Basically just follow money. Follow what works for your company.
So you don't need that shit. There's OSHA. There's all these other regulations that are on board that do away with all this, that mitigate all that. Because if you don't follow these policies, your ass is getting slapped.
Right.
There's no reason for unions, because unions were brought in because of unsafe working conditions. Now OSHA makes sure that all conditions are safe. If you have a problem, DEI, ESG is communism inside business. Yes, sir. Go watch my videos. But yes, fucking. So there's all these federal groups installed to make sure that businesses are ran right. But yet you still have all this corporatism and everything else. Yes, unions are fucking done. There's no reason for a union to exist anymore. It was about work standards. Now there's federal laws about work standards. Now, if the federal laws lack, people's arms start falling off, people get killed on a regular basis, unions should come back. The unions are a moneymaker. Bradley Burnett said this very well when we were talking about LGBTQ. Well, all these foundations were pushing for gay marriage. They got gay marriage. What's next? These foundations are not going to go away. People are making millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars off of them.
Well, and it fell quite neatly in line with the progressive mindset. Anyways, what is progressive?
But no, the progressive mindset is entirely about making money. It's entirely about making money. It's not about quality of life. It's about making money. That's like charities. Look at the Red Cross. The Red Cross, the CEO of Red Cross makes like $35 million a year. It makes more than Bob Iger.
Jesus.
But it's a charity. No, you should make like $150,000 a year. You should be able to live at your basic expense if you care that much to run this company. But they're also on like the board of a bank, the board of this, the board of that. They're getting money from everywhere. It's not capitalism to say itself. It's fucking greed. Isn't greed one of the 7 deadly sins? Do I need to pull out my Bible?
Something like that.
Yeah.
I may have heard a few things.
Yeah. But yeah, and this is exactly what we're seeing. Yeah. More money for less work. The only thing they do is bankrupt states. Exactly. You are fucking 100% correct. We had supervisors came in. They want to change exactly how we did. We looked at unions. The problem with the union is we had no choice at where our union dues went. They all went to the Democrat Party. We had no choice in that matter. There was no discussing that matter. We were like, fuck you. So we all banded together and we fucked them. But yeah, so like SAG, WGA, you know what? You wouldn't need those if you could carry your own weight. The problem is people are stupid nowadays and they can't write worth of shit. You'd have like 12 to 25 writers running all of Hollywood. But everybody would need their participation trophy and their $300,000 a year to sit in a writer's room and give you 2 minutes of script.
I was gonna say maybe give you an idea.
Yeah.
One line of dialogue maybe here.
Or maybe just get better writers just in general.
When did Saturday Night Live die?
Chris Farley died.
No, it was dead before. Chris Farley was the shining light in its death. It died. Chevy Chase, Dan Aykroyd, Eddie Murphy, all those people left. That is when they stopped writing their own jokes. There are a few still there that write jokes intermittently, but the show is not 100% scripted by the
When did it die? Because I grew up with you. Well, I mean, to your point, all those people, but like Chris Farley, David Spade, Will Ferrell. I don't know if they stopped writing their. I don't know if
that is when the writers' room started.
Is it okay?
Yeah. Later, Joker. Later.
Have a good one, Joker. Thanks for stopping in, man.
Yeah. But yeah, that is when that Chris Farley's death was definitely the end of Saturday Night Live. But it had already started dying at that point.
Previously,
when you had actual comedians that carried the show, like Looking for Nub, the Marijuana Santa Claus from Eddie Murphy, Blues Brothers.
Oh,
you know, Dan Aykroyd and Jim Belushi owned Blues Brothers. That was their idea, their thing. So that's when you started seeing the death of Saturday Night Live. So I think it was like, what, early 2000s? No one even watched that shit. It was just still on.
I wasn't paying attention to it.
And if Faye was any good, is because she's married to the guy that runs the writer's room.
Got all the best lines.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Hey, how else better to handle it than that, right?
What the hell is neurotic twinning manners maketh men? You talking about Kingsman? Yeah, he's watching Kingsman right now. He's getting ready to watch the fucking one dude beat the hell out of everybody in the bar. Dude, that was such a good movie.
I have yet to watch him.
What? The first one's banger.
The
first one's banger. Yes. Like, I wanted that guy to play Han Solo. Tegerton?
Yeah.
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 But they couldn't play him because he's charismatic and can carry the fucking role.
So I go with somebody devoid.
Yeah. Kingsman's like probably in my top 20.
Huh. Okay. I'll have to check it out.
I don't include Star Wars and a lot of sci-fi shit in my top 20 because that's just given. Yeah. There's 5 movies. The 6th one we won't talk about, but there's 5 movies that are just like all time. They don't even get on the list.
Oh, God. Well, Hitman, did you want to talk about Dial of Dysentery?
Yeah, we can. Or what we're going for? 3 hours. Oh dear. Yeah, we can talk about it.
Dial of Dysentery was shit.
Oh God,
the Tuk Tuk scene was fucking unbearable.
What scene?
The Tuk Tuks.
Oh yeah,
that was 100%. They sat still on a fucking Tuk Tuk and filmed that.
Right. It all looked so. That was a funny thing. Like even I think like the night before or something like that, my brother and I had been talking about it, and how basically CGI has basically degraded over the years. Like it's no longer what it used.
CW has better CGI than this.
So I did not watch the first Avatar because I did not agree with CGI. I thought everything should be practical, and it should be. Look at horror movies. 90% of that is fucking practical, and horror movies come across better than our fucking action hero movies.
Well, and I mean, I'll always look at things like the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie with the suitmation, the practical suits that they did for the turtles. Still looks great. Yes, you can kind of see some seams maybe here or there, but to me, I still think they look fantastic. A lot of what the Jim Henson Company did for puppetry always looked great in different shows, especially like Farscape. When I watched that show, and I was like, damn, a lot of this stuff looks great.
Those Ninja Turtle suits did live action concerts 5 nights a week.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember wanting to go to them.
I remember getting the cassette tape from Pizza Hut, dude. That's how old I am.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember those.
Yeah. Those live action suits were legit.
But like in shows like Farscape and everything, like I said, I remember seeing some of the aliens that they had in there, and it was something that was bugging me. I'm like, I know this look because it looked really good. I knew it wasn't CG, but I knew it looked really good. I'm like, who the hell did this? And I paid attention to the credits at the end. Oh, the Jim Henson Company. That makes sense.
I just realized
And it's like, I just feel like that, you know, with like his passing and everything, like that was where you just kind of saw the slow death of practical effects and everything completely going away from it. I would have loved to see that company have done a Godzilla
when
movie.
Jim Henson passed away, ILM completely consumed that.
Yeah.
Jim Henson's workshop look at Dark Crystal.
Oh yeah.
You will never see another movie like Dark Crystal. As a little kid, that movie almost made me pee myself. That was intense for a kid's movie.
I'll have to go
like the bug things and everything else. Fraggle Rock came from that, I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, I love Fraggle Rock. Loved Fraggle Rock. Oh yeah, I mean it'll all look fantastic.
No, and that's part of the problem is right now everybody that broke ground's getting paved over.
Basically, we don't have anybody at least that's come along with the autism to bring about that.
But they have to be part of the guild.
Oh, and it comes right back
so
to
they're
the guild
broke by the time they even get there.
There it is.
You see the Epic Verse stuff on FNT?
I saw their one clip that they showed.
Yeah, that's all they showed. Like,
it doesn't look bad, but it definitely looks indie-ish.
Yeah,
or certainly like
kind
of YouTuber production.
They're going to need the story to carry that.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, look at some of the Star Wars fan films. They look like shit, but they're still good.
Right. Oh yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I missed this over on Rumble. Saying you wrong, saying Darth Bane, best Sith. I can't disagree with that. They can't undo what Disney has done. Star Wars is a dead franchise, more or less.
Hail Rumble. What's going on, Rumble?
5 people watching over there right now. Hello, Rumble.
Hey, you got an actual viewer, not a bot.
Yay!
Every time I get an actual view over there, I never see it. Until after this like, fuck.
I just see like right now the 5 supposedly watching, but I don't
refresh your screen.
I did. That's what says 5 watching.
Yeah, mine will get stuck at like 3, and I'll refresh it. It'll say like 8. But yeah, I mean, Indy was a disgrace.
It was bad. Like
supposedly there were 6 endings that all ended with her taking his hat.
Supposedly,
and it never got unless 35% rating.
Unless I see it, in the ether.
I'll never make the light of day. You'll have to talk to somebody that went to one of the screenings and they're locked in by NDA.
Right. So for that aside, we got what we got out of this. When I was first hearing people talk about this, I thought they rewrote time, but they didn't. All it is them coming right back at the end of it, and apparently Phoebe Waller-Bridge's character went and talked to Marion, and that's what made her come back over to his house.
Yeah,
and it was still like
she says, "I heard you're back."
Yeah, I heard you're back. I'm like, oh,
which it was supposedly her that had checked out of the marriage and everything after Mutt died.
Right.
Which was fucking stupid. They could have recast him. or said he was teaching at a school here or doing
anything other than we got pissed at each other, or he got pissed at him and he went off to Vietnam
and
got
died.
killed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What? I mean, the only thing I was able to say was like, yeah, the bit of
Han
deep
Solo.
fake. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, the only thing I was able to say was like pretty much the deep fake on Harrison looked okay, looked better than.
Yeah, the opening scene of the movie, I'll agree with. It was fine. I was fine with it.
But there was one. There,
like
but the thing was is that I noticed like he goes up to that car, punches the dude out, throws him out immediately, and then as soon as he gets in that car, it gets loaded up with people. How did they not notice the dude on the ground that got beat the shit out of?
Well,
Or even notice walking up to the car, huh?
That's just Hollywood. But did you notice that young Indy had old Indy's voice?
Yes, I did. I did notice that. Yeah. Like I know people talked about it, but
so many different levels.
What's
And I'm
that?
not even. I said this movie's just terrible on so many different levels. I'm not even an indie fan. Like really, like. But give me Temple of Doom every day.
Yeah, Temple of Doom, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Raiders of the Lost Ark's my favorite.
See, that's what a lot of people say. Like, I don't know what. Maybe I'm just an odd bird, or I like to find other people who.
Temple's good. Temple's really, really good.
I love Temple of Doom.
Yeah.
I think that one's kind of my favorite.
Well, that was cool because you have an archaeologist that's based in fact experiencing magic for the first time too.
Yeah. Which is what he's like. He doesn't believe in magic, but it's like, dude, you watched a guy. You watched
literally had a
voodoo
guy's hand in your chest.
Well, a guy trying to rip your heart out. You watched a dude rip out other people's hearts. Stones that you brought back to a village that revitalized the village. That was very important for that village. Like, you have seen magic and works, my friend. Like,
it's real. The Force is real.
Oh, son of a.
But then it's like with this movie, let's do a movie on just Nazi Germany, but leave Short Round out. You bastards! Like,
so my ideal movie, you could probably exchange the actor a little bit. Would have been because supposedly Indy taught at Princeton. Now he's at some shit school in fucking New York.
Yeah.
Because there's no good schools really in the fucking Bronx.
Berkeley.
Berkeley, California.
Oh.
Yeah. Is that Brown? Is it Brown's in New York?
Yeah. Brown.
Yeah, Brown, yeah. But they should have had him his last day teaching, telling everybody to shut their books. He's going to tell them a story. And they can decipher for themselves if it's real. And then you have a flashback. And you have someone like Chris Pratt playing fucking Indy. And you have someone else playing Short Round. Somebody else playing, Marion. And at the end of it, you see like Marion fucking there to meet him on his last day. And she's like, oh, Mutt would have been here, but he's stuck in South America doing this for the piggies, some shit like that. That would have been best case scenario. You could have had your Indy story. You could have had Indiana. You could have had Harrison Ford. You could have had somebody to carry on the foundation of Indiana Jones.
That was kind of what they did.
Because
for
originally Indiana Jones was only meant for Harrison Ford to play it for 3 movies. Then they were going to cast for the role. They just never got to it.
Right. Which they should have done for Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Right. So, like if you haven't seen Terminal List completely changed my opinion about Chris Pratt. I think Chris Pratt is more than capable of playing Indiana Jones.
I think he would have been. I think he would be fine for it. Yeah. I haven't even seen that.
Because I always thought Chris Pratt was like a goofball actor and Star Wars was like a goof,
Right.
And so the Last Guardians kind of changed that a little bit too. But if you watch him in Terminal List, the shit that character goes through and he portrays it perfectly every time, you're like, fuck, this guy actually has range.
Right.
Like he can act.
He can fucking act. Yeah, I'd put him up there. And after watching fucking Terminal List, I put him up there at Pacino.
Damn.
Yeah, like
you have acting chops there.
Watch the first 3 episodes. You're gonna be like, "Fuck!" Like I watched the first 2 or 3 episodes, and I like turned my computer off, went to bed, and I'm like, "What the fuck did I? Oh my god!" Like I can't believe they fucking showed that.
I'll have to check it out. I've heard good things about it.
It's
no,
the
thanks.
first couple episodes.
Oh Christ!
And you still, for the most part of the series, you don't have any clue what's going on. You'll find out why as you watch it.
Right.
It's kind of got a Fight Club feel to it in some aspects, in certain ways. They did a really, really, really good job with that. People say the book's better, but I can't imagine the book being that much better.
Well, you're probably going to get more. This is probably some extra details here and there, a little more insight to certain characters. That's usually the case. That's where you kind of pick up a little more certain things, maybe.
Well, and that book was a bestseller, and now they're
Right.
doing the one guy that looks like Keanu Reeves. He's getting his own beginning series, and they're doing Terminalist season 2.
Ah, okay.
Which they're not doing now because there's a strike.
And then there's that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I kind of did one of those long tweet threads while we watched it, just because I thought, well, that's at least be kind of amusing to do. And it was kind of funny because like it was like the kid in this was the Teddy was basically the discount short round.
Yeah.
Like he even had the same backstory, how he met.
There was like a whole thing at Cannes where like Short Round ran into fucking Harrison Ford.
Yeah,
The whole thing there, like he should have been in the fucking movie.
They referenced the movie enough. They kept talking about it. I was like, weirdly, one of the things they kept bringing up was Temple of Doom, which I thought, I thought it was really funny that I was like, what? Out of all the movies you're continuing to reference, is that one? I mean, yeah, I think he mentioned his dad, but that was a off comment. And then I just laughed because when they were going through the tomb, they basically had the room with all the insects and shit like that, which I was like, oh, they're just missing the ceiling to come crashing down. He mentioned Kali and dealing with that whole event. So I was like,
well, we pulled it up on Sunday. That Sunday, if you watch the trailer, there's like a thing where she like has a stick and she hits the ball from fucking Raiders. You know, the giant ball that chases him out of the fucking.
Yeah. And Raiders of the Lost
Ark.
Ark.
She reaches up and hits it and it rolls on a thing. So that movie was going to be completely different.
I hate when that happens. I hate.
She was literally going to be Indiana Jones by the end of it.
I mean, you could already get that sense even from this cut that was what they were trying to do. Even let's see, just kind of looking at some of the stuff I was spouting off.
No, honey, you don't like Aubrey Plaza.
I mean, even for like the music, I thought was just kind of very lackluster for John Williams coming back to do this.
Yeah,
because I even expected like a few musical.
Well, I think
from
John Williams is past his
prime.
Yeah,
well past.
I mean, at a certain age, you start having hearing loss, and there's nothing you can do about it. It doesn't matter if you protect your ears the whole time or not.
No, yeah, it's gonna eventually degrade over time, anyways. But
oh my god!
Uh-oh!
Oh my fucking god! Really?
Oh no! What now?
They're remaking Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Wasn't that a remake of something, or was
that
actually
a remake of another one? Yeah. So it's Donald Glover and Maya Ersinki. So it's a black guy and an Asian woman. Stereotype. You know, I didn't think much about Donald Glover until that fucking This Is America video came out. Then Lando was Pan.
Oh God. Always back to that. Lando.
Yeah, Pando Lando. We never got that TV series, did we? Never got that movie.
Oh, they were planning a thing for Lando, weren't they?
Yeah. Like I said, we're not going to get half these movies they're talking about.
Well, I mean, even like what we got with
that's going to get swept under the rug is going to get blamed on the strike.
Everything, but even like we were like the whole Mandalorian was basically a repurposed Boba Fett movie.
Leslie Headland says the Acolyte will have more Jedi than any other Star Wars project.
You're gonna outdo the prequels? Or just in the main cast, are they saying? But even then, you're still trying to outdo the prequels. I mean, there's a lot of freaking Jedi running around in the prequels,
especially
trilogy.
in the arena.
Yeah, in the arena for Attack of the Clones.
Yeah.
I mean, good freaking luck, lady. Oh God, I'm not looking forward to that series either. Oh, but that's just a sizzle reel. Sorry.
Yeah.
Any extra thoughts for you, Hitman, on the indie?
No, I just
you were certainly wanting to
overall.
talk about it, and you're like, okay, we gotta watch it. So I just
Yeah.
thought I'd at least see what else you wanted to bring
No,
up
I
about it, because
do.
you were definitely kind of like, ooh, I want to.
No, I do. My brain's fried over Ahsoka, so I know I do have thoughts on it, but it's just overall just terrible. Like but it's hard for me because, like I said, like I've watched like Temple of Doom is my favorite. I think I watched the one with Sean Connery just solely because Sean Connery.
Yeah.
I watched like probably 5 minutes of Crystal, the one with Shia LaBeouf, and he's crazy. So I thought that I got like Austin Powers vibes with the Russian chick, like get the next chopper, the Dr. Evil's lover, the girl.
Yeah. Oh God, we found the name while we were watching this.
Yeah, but I just it's just hard. It was just hard to get through, man. Like I watched it when I was visiting my brother. I was just like, I fell asleep. I told you I fell asleep. I fell asleep multiple times, and then it was just very like, I don't know, whole Nazi Germany thing felt very like Captain America. And then
Yeah, we kept saying, it's like, okay, so when does he become Red Skull?
Yeah, where's Red Skull?
Well, I think
Hydra.
that was kind of an indie thing too. Most of that Raiders was against Nazis. Last Crusade was against Nazis.
Yeah.
And that goes back into the lore of them
hunting for artifacts. Yeah,
hunting for artifacts and
for the occult and stuff like that. Yeah.
I thought the going through the cloudy butthole and meeting Archimedes was absolutely just crazy. And then
just leave me here. Let me die.
Yeah, but just the whole movie is just like a deconstruction of Indy, which is like a deconstruction of like what I mentioned when we were doing the live or when we were streaming it. It's like, well, who's gonna be the next Indy? Like this girl's gonna be the next Indy, just like Bo-Katan's gonna be the new freaking Mando, just like Fennec Shan's the new freaking Boba Fett. It's like deconstruction of these characters and then having this female character. And again, I'm not sexist, I'm just saying that there's a pattern here that has been going on with Disney, and I'm assuming Disney has some type of like, do they own like this is is Indiana Jones owned by, this is a dumb question, does Disney have any is it a Lucasfilm? So
yep. It was Spielberg and Lucas together.
Okay.
Yep.
So I just it's just like, and then the whole it didn't feel like Indy. Like Temple of Doom Indy was like iconic, and I still to this day remember it, watching it with my dad. So like that, like the Indy in Temple of Doom was like what I would remember Indy by, but this Indy's like, just let me die. Oh, I just want to die. And then he goes, so I don't know. It just seems like, again, you hype up this movie, you spend all this time like creating this movie, and this is what you get. So we sat there for an hour and 45 or 2 hours and 45 minutes watching this movie, or however long, 2 hours 35 minutes, whatever it is, and it was just like, this is like wah, wah, wah. Like this is it, this is the movie like that you get. And I don't know exactly what it's done for box office, but I know there's another film that's beating it, so I don't know, but that's just me.
Box office was horrible.
Yeah, but that's just me. Like I'm not a huge indie guy, like I said, but I don't know. It just seemed like it was. I feel like if you're gonna hype a movie up, and if you're gonna hype something up, and you're gonna spend all this time doing something, and then this is what you come up with, like, bro, what are we doing?
It's been reshot like 10 or 15 times.
But for why? Like, in what capacity was Kennedy? Like, I'm not blaming on Kennedy, but like,
yeah, and supposedly Mangold had this viewed to Spielberg 7 times. This was apparently their best one,
and Spielberg wanted nothing to do with it.
Yeah, he walked away a long time ago from it.
So Spielberg had no capacity, and like he had no type of say.
Walked away.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just it's just what I didn't. I personally, I didn't think it was a good movie. Like, I fell asleep the first time watching it. Wanted to fall asleep the second time, watching it. I just, but far be it, because like I said, I've not seen a lot of them. So, but it was hard for me to like follow. Like, you made a lot of references, like, oh, it's the taxi guy. Oh, or what did you say? Oh, of course they bring in the taxi guy, Tony Shalhoub.
Solid, just for like a cameo moment, and it's
right.
They did the stereotypical thing of making the foreigner come to America as a cabbie.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, so you're still willing to fill certain roles like that, but
yeah, so
scared to also take it further in other directions. All
right, whatever. Yeah. So
yeah,
I'm sure next week I'll have more to say on it, but
Ahsoka did kind of dominate the conversation for sure. I had a sinking suspicion it might.
Yeah.
That's a fucking crusher right there.
Oh God.
We gotta figure out what we want to do with Ahsoka, though. We gotta figure out if we're gonna, because if I gotta sit through this and be miserable, either Fractured, you're definitely gonna sit on it, or look into this, and we're all gonna just be miserable watching this thing.
Oh, Bradley probably want part of it too.
We should just try to figure out like how to watch it, because like I said, you're off on Wednesdays. I don't know, Wookie, I don't know where your schedule. We can talk after the show and figure it out, but somebody's going to be miserable with me watching this, so it's either going to be Fractured 100% because we're doing it.
I'll definitely be miserable with you. I don't mind. I'll probably be dragging my brother into watching it, so
yeah, we should do like get 5 or 6 people together and just watch this.
Oh God, riff on it as we watch it.
Yeah, man.
What we did with Indy.
I'll tell you that. I don't have anything else.
Yeah, me neither. I think that's a good sticking point right there. We got to the end. So, Wookie, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here, bud.
You want to plug anything? What's coming up for you?
Tomorrow at 3 p.m. on something Sunday, we're gonna have
Abomination. What is your show on Sunday? Well, I'm stupid. I mean, I follow you, but just so I can plug you, what is do you have a podcast Sunday too?
Yeah, I do. Well, my podcast is on Sunday. I'm on everybody else's shit most of the week.
Okay.
But yeah, we do pop culture, box office breakdown.
Okay.
It's a good time.
Yeah, we don't get super political on there. We probably will with the writer's strike. But yeah, mostly it's just covering box office. We're going to go over all the new movie trailers. We're going to do.
Okay.
We're going to look at Ahsoka, of course, and we're going to talk about all the breaking news in Hollywood, which isn't very much right now.
Other than some of them losing their minds, apparently.
But yeah, that's what I do on Sundays. And other than that, you can find me on Thursdays on Static's channel and on Fridays on Jed Revenwolf's channel. That's where I'm usually at.
Groove it.
What's Static's Twitter handle? I think I found him. What is it?
Static 2020.
Static 20. I think
that's how you can find them. Yeah, it's like
okay.
I am.
Yeah, I am Static 2020. It's at I am Static 2020.
Yep.
Well, you heard it, folks. Sunday at 3 p.m. What could be bad? Check it out. I'll be checking it out.
And it's gonna really quick. Yeah, drop it.
Yeah, Fracture's made one appearance there.
I know. I would love to be on.
Although I haven't been a fucking meme.
That was good stuff. I liked it.
Fracture, what you got, man? What you got going on?
Oh, basically nothing until I get my.
Did you get your computer fixed?
No, I'm waiting for my graphics card, my new graphics card to come in, which won't be till like Wednesday or Thursday or possibly even Friday. Okay. So I'm gonna be kind of out of the loop. Well, at least not streaming for a while, which kind of pisses me off. I might just try and fire up maybe just something of a stream just to kind of talk some shit, gaming or whatever. But otherwise, no, nothing new until Thursday, which I'll be on with you guys for Thursday on Static's show, the weekend pregame. We've been having some great conversations there. I loved last week. Last week was awesome. Talking the culture war and shit like that. That was great. Otherwise, then next Saturday we'll be back for Saturday Night Sith. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Yeah.
Nothing for you, Hitman?
Well, prematurely, I guess, announced this. So I am officially building a computer. So
you've been mentioning that a bit.
Yeah, I'm finally pulling the trigger. So I was having had 2 people part it out. So I think I can get a pretty decent computer built. So that will hopefully be within either next week, depending on, like, I just gotta figure out when all the parts can come in, because some of these Chinese parts come from China and it takes a while to get. So I'm trying not to buy Chinese parts, but yeah. So hopefully that gets built, and then, start doing some proper streaming.
Groovy. Sounds good. All right. Well, with that, we'll say good night, everybody. Have a good one.
Later.
What is thy bidding, my master?
Yeah, I should have known from the very beginning. From what you said. Yeah, when the mega powers were formed. Yeah, what you were out for from the very beginning. Yeah, you were after what was mine. I remember what you said.
You can destroy the Emperor. Join me. Together, we can rule the galaxy as father and son.
Yeah, that one was rough. Those words right there. Yeah, I got stuck, yeah, but I swallowed it anyway. Didn't like the taste, but I swallowed it anyway, yeah. But I remember the time when there was a conquistador out of the ring, the one that's so jealous that he can't stand it, yeah. Yeah, you came in there with your poses, yeah, but you made a big idiot out of yourself, yeah. And speaking of idiot things, what about that stupid idea? Did you forget that one? Think back. That right there sealed your fate. Yeah, it put the madness over the edge. But I'll tell you what felt even better, yeah, was in the dressing room, in the first aid room. Me being unselfish, yeah, said go ahead, do the thing, yeah. You won't steal my thunder, no. When you take a look at the madness's eyes, all you're gonna see is complete and utter rage!